So, recently it's been a thing on Twitter with a debate spark. Like every time around the first of the month, women are always saying how men broke and they can't afford to do this, that, and the third, or the tweets will look something like, well, she don't have time to just talk to a man if he can't pay a bill. And so every month it's been a trend since like the first of the year, and they call them rent due tweets. So the question is, because most times we know women are getting supplemented by men, or we're just spending our money however we want it. Is he really broke, or he just don't want to give you no money?
I want to hear from the fellas.
How often do y'all contribute to women and they not contributing to you?
And do you have pick and chooses on who you give
you
your
spend
money
to?
I spend very little money on women, but I got my choices. Most women I don't give no money to. I got like two of them now I give money to every now and then.
So the other ones, if you just want like one night stands, just somebody that you just
it's a casual situation.
So do like situationships. Do you help your situationship type? So you don't. No. So if it's a situationship,
it gotta be like ongoing. Like I gotta know you for like 2, 3, 4 years, and we've been, Then you ask me for a couple bucks, yeah.
Okay.
But you some girl, you ain't get no money out of me. Like, I'm not. I don't trick. Like some dudes do.
Because that's what I was finna say. That's different. Because I know a lot of men that trick.
I feel like they do it because they feel like they need to. I don't feel like I need to.
I think it's
if you don't like me for me, then you done.
Because you also have some men that they just feel like that's how they were raised. Like it's my duty. No. Listen to what I'm saying. Not tricking. Because a trick is a man that anytime he deal with a woman, he gonna give her money to feed his ego. That's what he do. He trick off, but it has more so to do with him.
That's not tricking.
Yeah, it is. It has more so to do with him than to do her, because he blowing his money, but he gonna do that for any woman regardless.
What's your definition
now, as far
tricking?
as
I ain't tricking
the middle ground of it is like you have some men, they just raise that's how they believe that any woman they land with is their responsibility to take care of.
I wouldn't say take care of her, but if she giving you that benefit, you can help her.
Okay.
She's going to spread her legs for you.
But he's basically saying that women that he just
dealing with casually.
Serious, so you don't help like women that you have situationships with.
If you a dude and you got a rotation, why would you give all your women money? That's tricking to me. Like, even if you rolling in, I wouldn't do it. Okay. It's the principal respect for me. Like, I'm not.
That's how drug dealers do.
But if I was a drug dealer, I wouldn't do that. They would ask me for money. I'm like, no. What you asking? Stop asking me for money. Like, I don't know. I just got a real big issue with respect.
How you tell women you don't get them money? What that look like? Like, or do they just have that sense of urgency? Like, he ain't going for that, and I don't play with him like that.
It's a saying. People know who to play them games with.
Women know who to play them games with.
Yeah, when you meet a man, you know if you can ask him for money or not. If you got a strong frame, you are not finna ask that man for no money, because he gonna look at you crazy and be like, yeah, you done gone.
Yeah, it's some men that I look at and I know I just can't play with him.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the fact. And that's how I treat people. Like, nah, man, you asking for what? Yeah, I'm done dealing with you. You can get out. So, I mean, that's me. Now, a lot of dudes don't do that. They ask them, and they give in. But she asked me for money. I feel like she a gold digger. I'm done dealing. If you won't give me what I want for free, then I don't want it.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So you saying, hold on. So what you said was, if she asks you for money, you feel like she's a gold digger. But what if this is somebody that you know that you don't want to be with? What are you like? What do you want from her too?
You know what I want.
You say what?
I mean, I'm just saying. So you feel like you should get it for free?
Sweetie, what you
say?
That's called prostitution if it's not.
I mean, I'm just but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like that, like everything that y'all say, it don't like go together.
Here's the problem.
Y'all always talk about women with high body count, but you still be tricking off with the women that have high body count. But he just said
he don't trick. What you was saying, sweetie?
Here's the problem. We are under the assumption that pussy is of equal value to somebody spending money on you.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they think.
And we know that it is not.
No,
okay.
I'm going to explain why. Because if there's somebody you're willing to throw that thing around with for free, then why is it that this person has to pay?
Yeah,
that means because because you gotta think about it.
You don't like him that much. That's what it means.
Yeah, you
don't.
I've
learned that when women want to make you pay to go on 10 dates,
they don't like them.
So,
and make
Mommy
you pay,
3,
they don't want you.
Mommy 3, are you saying it's a price on it for you?
No, hell no. But I'm just speaking like on real facts. What women do, like women really be out here.
If you had a
putting a price on.
If you had a square with a bunch of money, you'd make him take you out on 10 or 12 dates, and then you give it to him if he bought you a car. But the gangster nigga that you like, he ain't got to do none of that.
But the thing I'm telling you, you already said you don't even want this person. So both of y'all wasting each other time.
Hold on,
well, no, that's not true.
A man ain't wasting his time. A man ain't wasting his time.
That's not true. That's not what he said.
No, I just asked him before you talk. I asked him. I said, so you telling me that you don't want that? We talking about situationships. Like he don't feel like he should be obligated to give that type of woman money. He has picks and chooses on.
Just like you got picks and chooses who you have sex with for free.
Fair, though,
no. I'm asking him why sit up there and get you feel like you obligated to get free coochie from somebody that you ain't gonna never do nothing for. If her town flat, would you help her?
But the thing about it is, though, you essentially saying that it's a price on it.
I said a town flat. That ain't even money. That's time.
But it's still a price on it, right? Because you're taking
so you should lay with somebody that won't do nothing for you.
Because here's the thing, right? Today, the mindset of women in general, American women specifically, 100%. Is I can do everything for myself. The only thing a man can do for me is give me dick or money. And the problem with that mentality is when you denote a man down to just his sex, they already thought about you as just sex.
That's what men see in the first place.
Sex is an equal exchange of pleasure.
Yeah. But that's what a man see from the jump when they see you is physical.
No. It ain't about what he just see you from jump. The thing about it is, men are supposed to be leaders, but a lot of times women jump in head over heels and she start leading and he be like, all right, cool. That's what we're going to do.
But that's the problem. Why lay down with men that don't want you?
I cannot.
They can't help you when you down.
That's not saying he don't
Girls
want
don't
you.
think like that.
That's crazy.
That's not saying he don't want you. He probably did want you, but he realized I ain't got to do too much to go.
If a man don't want you, they don't want you. You can't if he see you as that, especially looking at you. He wants you sexually, but he's not gonna wife you.
So what is the problem?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
so you basically
but
saying you
but at the end of the day,
him just in case like a retainer, because that's what I be hearing when women say like that, like why lay with a man who don't want you? You sound like you putting a nigga on a retainer to me.
No, it's either you want him.
That's why people think lawyers are scared.
No, it's either you want him or you don't. But don't be going around wasting men's time if you don't want him.
That's not wasting time.
Same thing with a man. Same thing with a man.
If a man mentality, I'm saying I pay all my bills. I don't want a man living in my think about this. I'm saying I'm a single woman. I can only focus on me because relationships require too much work, too much effort, too much energy. And I'm a single woman. I only pay my bills.
So for a man, if you tell a man
let me set the play for you, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're saying I only take care of me, I don't have to think about prioritizing him. I don't have to stress and worry about, okay, did he make it home safe? Did he eat today? How is he doing? Where his mental at? I don't have to do none of that. All I can do is get him to come in, bust me down, go about his way, because I know he know how to do that job well. We both got an equal exchange of pleasure. Whatever his stresses are, that's your stress by yourself, and I'm going to handle my stress by myself, and we come and be a stress reliever for each other, and we go about our way. That's a mutual benefit.
Okay, I'm going to put it like this. So how is this free pussy benefits you in a way?
Because it's companionship.
No, it's not. They ain't together, and he don't really want her. He already got 2 women that he would do anything for.
I don't say anything.
Well, you talking about
that's what I'm saying. See, that's why I'm still. It's like y'all draw away from this situation.
If the exchange is just sex, why does he have to do anything?
That's
more
what
than
I'm
that?
saying. I didn't say that he had. It's like y'all got all the way to a whole nother situation when I just asked him. I asked him a question, and it went a whole nother way.
But I think I'm getting lost because you asking him his personal, and I'm not necessarily tailoring to his personal.
But the thing is, I asked him a question, and y'all went around the world. I asked him a question. He said that he would rather somebody that he will sponsor is like 2 people that he cares about, but other women's situationships, he don't feel the need to give them anything. He told
you why he gave you the answer. You ain't like it. He said
that's because I didn't like it. What you talking about?
He said he has his preferences just like women do.
I said why waste their time? Because what if they
that's
are
why
being
I said you ain't like it because you think it's more to it. And it ain't no more to it. It's just his preference.
I just asked a question because it's like.
Do you think it's wasting their time?
No, if it depends on a woman. It depends on what the
So
woman
let's say for the
feels.
sake of argument.
So the thing is, why give your body up to somebody that won't do nothing for you? That's all I was saying.
Why does it have
But
to
what
do
does that
something for you
mean?
when sex is an even exchange?
Like that's just how.
Yeah,
That's
stop. Hold on,
like
stop.
how I was
Did you
raised.
hear what you said?
Why? What's the purpose? Why
That's
do I
why
have to do
women
something?
now give
But-
free
but
sex to
why-
men that don't do
Why
shit
would
for
I
them.
have to? Why
Repeat
do I
that.
have to
And
do
they
more
have
for you?
broke ass baby daddies.
Listen to him.
Why do I have to do more for you if
When
sex is
an
an
equal exchange?
Is an even exchange.
It's not you giving
You
me
want
something
me,
and I'm not getting anything.
I
We
want
both
you.
getting something.
Because almost everything a man always talk about always leads to a body count. How a woman carry herself, what she do. If
Right,
you,
but
so
the
that's
thing
what I'm
is,
saying.
but
If
with
you
her,
laying
hold on,
down
think of
with
it
a
this
woman,
way.
you gonna
Think of
look
it
at
this
her
way.
like she'll forget
No,
anything.
but think of it this way though. If I just want to have sex with her, her body count does not
Doesn't
matter
matter. Yeah,
to
I ain't
me.
taking it serious.
Mommy,
That's
three.
what I just
Hold
said.
on.
Y'all
But
would
that's what I'm
never
saying.
marry that person.
Mommy,
But it doesn't
just
matter
said
because
that.
Mommy three.
she's getting sex, I'm getting sex, and we going about our business.
I got a
It's
question.
an even
And
exchange.
that's why everything's still
I got a
fucked up. That's
question.
why women haven't
Hold on,
got
hold
babies
on.
by men
Wait a minute.
that would
wait a
never
minute, 'cause
support them. They would never support
That's
them.
going into something different. Hold on. Let me
But
ask
that's
you.
what I
Hold
was
on.
just
Wait a
saying.
minute. Let me ask you this. If a man came to you and said, I ain't got nothing else but dick for you, how you gonna respond to that? I don't have nothing else but dick. I ain't got no time.
He can't
Ain't-
tell you
hold
that
on,
out
hold
the
on,
gate.
wait a
You
minute,
can't
wait a
say
minute,
that.
wait a minute.
Right.
Hold on, wait.
Because that ain't
That's all
practical.
if that's all he's saying, you saying that's not practical?
If it's a mutual agreement, then okay. It would have to be mutual.
I ain't talking about no mutual nothing.
If a man ain't gonna come and say that, that ain't even realistic.
No. I'm saying hypothetically.
If he did.
I'm not talking about
If he did what?
I'm talking about hypothetically. If a man hit you and he said, listen, all I got to offer you is just dick. What you gonna say to that?
Oh man, I ain't got no pussy to offer you.
So how you think men feel?
It ain't about money.
gotta
If
play-
I don't like you, if a man come at me and say all I got is dick to offer you, what?
You gotta play the game. As a man-
Come on, I'm not in high school. I'm not a teen. I'm
so
like,
what
no.
do you think men think
We
when
lie,
women
we
are
play the
saying the
game.
same thing? I ain't got nothing but some pussy for
Man,
you.
that's different. Man, that's different when it comes. It's different when it comes for a man.
No,
Cause
it's
that's man, a man gonna fuck either way
Not
it goes.
today.
Yes, they
Hold on,
will.
hold on.
Equity is a thing.
Yes, the fuck
hold on.
they will.
No. Y'all missed what she said.
Say that again.
Hold on, wait.
Please,
Y'all
let's
missed
run
what she
that
said.
back.
Hold on,
Run
wait.
that
Hold on.
back.
I'll run it
Run
back for
that
you.
back.
I'll run it back for
Run
you.
that back.
What she's trying to
If a
come
woman
from.
come to a man and say, all I got is just some pussy, but you got to do X, Y, Z,
Oh, you
L, M,
missing
N,
it.
O, P. That's how we sound. We sound like all we're offering them is to spread my legs. But you know what? It's so many other women who are offering them the same
Same
shit,
thing.
shawty.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
That ain't no different. That's what I'm saying.
But
Like
but
if
the
a man
problem
told
is-
you, all
pussy
you
come
got is
down.
dick,
Pussy
not
come
you.
down. Pussy come dime in a dozen. I even talk about that.
No,
They don't give a fuck about
more
that.
easier for us to go outside right now.
Of course,
Yeah, it
100%,
is.
100%.
Than them,
Because
than them to get
Because
sick.
we have to consent. That's simple.
No,
That ain't.
I think you missing
That's
the
No.
point.
yeah, it's
It's
different,
far
but it's
easier.
easier
It's
for
far
you.
easier.
So you gonna
Look,
turn it all down.
Understand
I
this.
said that we have to consent to it. What is you
That's
saying?
why if a man walked to you and said,
That's
all I
what
got
I'm
to give you
saying.
is that, you'd be like, man, get out my face. Because it's too easy for you to get it.
But I just never had a man
If a
come
woman
to
walk
me,
up
so
to
it's
me and
not
say
practical
that,
to
I
me.
mean, I'm probably gonna take it, but I'm probably not gonna take her serious.
But here's
Right,
here's
I know.
what
Y'all gonna
here's what
take
you're
it.
not
That's what I'm
understanding. Here's
saying.
what you're not understanding. Sex is an even exchange. So if a woman came to me and said, all I got is pussy for you, then the very first thing I would say to her is, all I got is dick for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do that.
I wouldn't even
And
say
I am
nothing.
and I am completely okay with that exchange. The problem comes in with what Paris is talking about, where she's saying, well, you telling me all you have
They
is
want some
pussy for me,
extra shit.
but now you want my time, you want emotional support, you want financial support, you want all of this just for pussy. And that's where you're starting to see men
Because
draw the line.
if you came to me,
I
and
just
said,
wanna
all
kill
you
one
got
night
is some dick,
stands.
I would say offer decline.
I just
shut
wanna
the box.
to
Can't do
kill
it.
the one night stand, that all that crap. I don't like that. I just feel
So
like
most
it's
people
dumb.
don't believe in one night stands.
But
though.
I just think it's dumb. Stop giving yourself to people.
It's
Most
not
people-
dumb though,
most-
because you are not the barometer
Because
of
these
what
people-
other people feel like they necessities
That's
are.
why all these kids,
Everybody,
fatherless, motherless.
Stop
doing
that's
it.
a mute point, because women have lost having children, especially black women. We ain't even having kids no more. I'm one of them. I'm in the number. We down 2% of the population because black women that don't even have kids no more at such an alarming rate. We've dropped in teen pregnancies. So all these baby daddies and stuff like that, that's really a mute point. We don't even have a high rate of teen pregnancies no more as we used to. But the idea is these relationships are just elongated extensions of sneaky links with no commitment.
Situationship.
And it's bad because it's lopsided. The balance ain't there. You have one side saying, do all of this for me because the last man, I did everything for him and got nothing in return. And that's where men are
That's her
saying.
fault.
But that's where men are saying you done got this mentality because you brainwashed because you ain't
That's
did
her
your
fault.
homework.
Can I ask you a
Get out
question?
the
Go
get
ahead.
out your environment.
I want to ask you a serious question. I love everything you just said. Who do you blame, the men or the women, for that?
I blame both parties because
No.
it takes two to tango.
Let me ask you, if you had to specifically pick a sex, pick one. Who would you blame for why the black race is in the situation it is in
Women.
America? Thank you. I was wondering if you was on say that. Other people don't. They say the first answer. You say, "Oh, I'm both." Dudes ain't really changed since the 50s.
Well,
women have drastically changed.
That's not true.
And now men are just playing the game.
Men have changed. Men's role in society has not. So that's what I can give you, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. I hate the idea of modern and traditional woman because in retrospect,
how do you hate that?
I'm gonna tell you, none of us technically are traditional because we have to evolve with time. And that's why I said men have also changed, but men's role, your expectation are always to remain the same. I can go to any woman on any corner of the United States. I can go to any corner of the United States right now in the country, whether it's Wyoming, Rhode Island, Florida, or down in New Mexico, and ask women, what do you think of a man? And she's going to say the same thing. He's supposed to be a leader, protector, provider. It don't change. Whatever you expected and obligated to do, you don't get no excuses behind it. You don't get no coddleship behind it. It's automatically expected despite what you're going through. Well, for women, I can give you a multi-set
you can turn it off
of
and on.
whatever.
I can be a lady. I can be a lady today. Or
I can be a hoe tomorrow. I can be the president tomorrow. I can run the world today. I can be a stay-at-home mom the next week. And anything that I do, I can always find an excuse for.
That proved my point. I said men haven't changed. Men's
role. I'm specific when I say that. Men's role in society has not changed
about men.
I just told you. Because now we're in a different era. We all have adapted to society. See, things that we do now, right?
Tell me what changed about men.
I'm about to.
Go ahead.
So things that we do now, right? Like it's normal and complacent for a man to raise his children and go out of state and be with them in different sectors, regardless if he's present or not. It's very common for men to have a more potent relationship with their children in-house, wherever they are, as opposed to the children outside of the house. And that's considered a normalcy. Men have adapted to making that a normalcy. Men have also adapted to making the lack of chivalry a normalcy. Men have adapted to the fact that they actually go and invite women into the workforce.
She is right.
We didn't do that. Y'all did that.
No, you adapted.
We adapted.
I didn't blame nobody. I said y'all adapted.
Listen, adapt. Adapt.
Now, the thing is, she's right. Men did change. Our change was an adaptation to the very thing that you just like. So she's not saying, she's saying women were at fault for the reason why, but men still change, which is true.
Your expectations of who you are, your expectations, who I expect you to be, is still changed. However, technically, you're not a traditional man either.
I am, but
no. You're traditional in mindset. You're not traditional in livelihood.
Us as black races, we had to change.
Wait a minute. We're not traditional in.
We didn't have the American dream.
We're not traditional in livelihood. We're not traditional in livelihood. It's not now common for couples to share their bank accounts. That's a traditionalized setting. It's not now common for couples to go to church together. That's a traditionalized setting. We've removed religion subsequently. A lot of the things that you guys are saying we do, a lot of people don't practice no more. So traditional, we're not traditional. We all are modern.
You saying that I'm not modern.
You're just rejecting it because of the fact that you hold to principles and culture, which is great. So do I. But technically, you had no choice but to adapt to be modern.
Like we wasn't born with the American dream. Like I just feel like as black people, we had to adapt.
Not black people, our generation.
Yeah,
our generation was born with far more privilege than our parents' generation.
But that's what I'm thinking about. Like over time,
kids are born with far more privilege than previous generation. Because majority of black kids now.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like over time, with me being from Mississippi and what they had to go through just thinking about
my life was
the
easier
American.
than my parents.
Yeah, my life was way easier, meaning that those men and women had to make a life, build this, and make these things.
Here's the question, and this is the conundrum we have today. Our lives are far easier than our parents were.
Correct.
How is it that we can't get along? They lived through far more tumultuous times.
Just like what Paris said. The definition of traditional has changed.
Well, it's just changed because women changed.
Traditional definition has not changed. We're just not traditional.
Women have changed. Women dropped that ball.
People are changing these definitions. They are changing the definition.
Traditional is still traditionalism.
They are
traditional is still people who are virgins. Traditional is still people who hold true to their religion that are subsequent to each other. Traditional is still arranged marriages. Traditional is still men and women dealing with each other from the same level of income. None of us do that. You're not traditional. You don't go look at a woman and say she made the same as me and she come from the same background as me.
That don't make a man traditional. You can't.
You
can't tell me what makes a man traditional. That don't make a man traditional.
You can
tell me what makes a woman traditional.
What makes a man traditional?
That's fine.
I want to say something what you said.
Lord.
Now I'm trying to think what you just said. What? Dang. I done lost my train of thought.
Those are traditional.
What I said or what she said?
What you just said. I had something for it. Now I done lost my train of thought.
So what do you think makes a man traditional?
I didn't want to answer. I want to answer something else.
That's what I'm saying. They changed the definition.
No, the definition.
They changed it in their mind. They're not going by the
traditional
dictionary.
man has not changed.
Yeah, it ain't changed.
It's the same.
Protect,
provide, lead, and protect.
Yeah.
So why men complain about 50-50 so much?
Because we don't.
That's not traditional.
I'm saying you got men that agree to that.
That's why they punks.
I'm about to answer it for you.
Please.
Most men don't actually care to be traditional.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Most of them
just want to be respected in their relationship. But most men understand. Most men understand. Yes, you can. Most men understand the reality of the time we live in.
Correct.
They understand.
When you say that, what do you mean?
It takes two
It takes two incomes.
It takes two, baby.
I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm gonna be just on the strength alone that she pays, that she puts just as much money up as I put up. I understand she has decision-making power.
Correct.
And that's why I don't want a woman to put no money up.
But here's the problem though. So men understand this reality. So most men don't actually, the thing that Kevin Samuels talked about, right? Mm-hmm. He was speaking for a specific group of men.
But he was speaking to the mentality of what he was speaking to the mentality of what men have to leverage.
Exactly.
But that's why he didn't get a lot of disagreements, because in mass he was generalizing what men essentially agreed on in mass. However, there are still some men who disagree with him. Like you say, hey, you don't want no woman to have no input. But there are some men that go, you know what? I don't mind her having input because she probably have a better idea than me. Essentially, some men have adapted to say, you know what? I'm good in this area. She's good in this area. This is how she's going to be my helpmate. That's majority of men.
That's what I said. If you're going to go traditional, women don't work. You can't change that. Women want to work now. Like, you can't change that.
That's also inaccurate.
But I'm just saying.
Black women have always worked.
Oh, yeah. Black women always work in the field. I know this, but I'm just saying. You got men saying that they don't. I'm just saying you got men that say that they don't want their woman to work. They want to give their woman allowance. They want to give this and that.
But think about the kind of man.
A woman want to work,
right? Because the only
I said it's inaccurate. I said it's inaccurate.
I'm saying though, the only women who have ever had the privilege of never ever working were European white women. However,
that's what I'm saying. We had to work.
In the Asian community, the only time their women don't work is when she's pregnant. Everybody else, it's all hands on deck. You can even look at tribes in Africa today and back in the times, and all of them women was out working, full of baby on the belly and full of baby on their back.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, even my ancestors, they was the same way in the fields in Mississippi. Women were working. That's why I said I don't understand.
The thing is that y'all completely forget the type of men that say they don't care if they women work.
Yeah, it's the
men that have the money. The means to say that women don't have to work.
You say you want to work,
but when they talk about
who was capable of putting you at home,
but when y'all talk about black women, y'all got to understand that we didn't have those privileges.
So what do you need them for?
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
To go and get
I'm not trying to do no. I'm just saying,
Women in general. Why are our women?
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you said that we always had to work. You know, the only people that didn't have to work with this, but that's what I'm saying.
But this
a
is
lot of men say that
about working, right? Because I think we get off a tangent. The idea here is that women want something in exchange for nothing, right? To go back to it. 50-50 is just a minute extension of that. Because in reality, what should be happening is if she's telling a man, yeah, you need to come pay all my bills, she also need to be saying, when can I move in with you so you can go ahead and pay the bills that you was already paying?
Would you respect the man who wanted to go 50-50 with you?
I don't have no problem with that.
Would you respect them?
Yes.
I don't believe that. Would you
respect? Yes,
so if a man say, hey, baby, let's split 50-50.
I don't mind about that. I would go 50-50.
My wife goes
50-50
and I'm well respected.
But you've been with her for a long time.
Okay, so
y'all been together since I was young. Y'all been together since I was young. Because you catch a girl older, and nowadays in the dating game we in now, bro, that don't work.
All right, so here's
my point.
This is the thing.
I've been single for a minute.
You can't make a unbiased prejudice against me because you have never spoken to me before. You don't know that. I came up in a 2-parent household. The first 5 years of my life, my daddy was essentially disabled. He could not work. So my mama had to pick up the slack while she was a newlywed after both his mom and her mom. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. My mom had to pick up the slack while she was a newlywed, while she had just had 2 twins who were born premature and had health risks, and on top of the fact that her mom had just died and his mom had just died. So she inherited a lot of responsibility by marrying my daddy. But if she didn't stay down till she came up, she wouldn't have had a husband she could praise, because whatever she did, he poured it back into her tenfold. So I have no problem investing into my man if it's for the better means of the family. You can't say what I would do because I have a different understanding of it.
That's why I agree, because I was born in a 2-parent household.
I want to make a comment on it. Do you understand how extreme that example you just gave was?
No.
No, it's life.
It's not extreme because
am I the only one who heard everything she just said?
I'm just saying,
wait.
Did you hear?
I had something similar. My daddy got hurt.
I can speak for myself.
You gave an extreme scenario.
I didn't give an extreme example.
You said,
hold on, wait a minute.
2 parents died, kids.
No.
You gave an it was like a circumstance after circumstance.
Listen. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying.
I heard it. I'm repeating what you said to me.
I heard you, but you didn't. You're not giving me a reason.
I'm trying to talk.
Answer.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, because I seen that it's ingratiating into me, and regardless of it being their circumstance, I understand that every relationship is not going to be my relationship.
Oh, that's what I'm about to say.
So that's not the point. The point is, I know what can be reap the benefit of an actual partnership. So to make this prejudice like, oh, she's not gonna go 50-50. I've been paying bills by myself for a long time. If you think I wouldn't accept help, you out your mind.
Let me ask you one question. Would you rather a man pay all the bills and take care of you? Would you rather him get all that stress off your back and say, you know what, you can be at home, you can be a housewife, you ain't gonna work no more?
No. I will always work.
I doubt that. You want the power of work because you know it gives you power.
Here's the problem with what you're saying. She gave an extreme example, but that very extreme example is the reason why women leave.
What do you mean?
Exactly. A woman today would have left. In that extreme situation, she'd have packed her bags.
Would have found the next man with some money.
Would have left.
So, because you just said it yourself. The women today leave for less. They leave just on the strength of I gotta go to work.
I wasn't saying that she left. She's saying that she would split 50-50 with a man because
that's what I'm saying. Let me finish.
Correct.
Is that she's saying that because she's saying this extreme example of what
perseverance of what a woman can put into her family.
So she's saying that if I get
my daddy pulled up out of that.
So what she's saying is that if I just get a man that goes 50-50, it ain't even extreme as my mama's situation.
What she didn't have to deal with.
So I'm cool with that because I didn't even.
Miss Rose a soldier.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't no woman out here like Miss Rose.
Because I grew up in a 2-parent household and my daddy was hurt.
Ain't nobody fooling with Miss Rose.
I'm telling you, I grew up.
Player. These women out here ain't nobody like her. I don't think I could have did it.
Because the thing is, I grew up in a 2-parent household too.
I ain't never seen no woman who sat there.
My mama was a straight hustler, baby.
And I'm gonna say this.
My mama gonna work.
I ain't never seen no a woman who sat there and had 3 kids in the span of 21 months. One of her children had a seizure. Her husband was in the hospital for 6 months, came home disabled. And then on top of that, his family hated her. And she inherited the debt. And
Most
she had to
women
sit there and deal with her mom, juggling in between her mom being sick and watched her mama die. She would have left.
Most women would have
bounced. My mama a soldier, bro. You can't tell me what I do for a man.
You were giving an extreme. There are 8 billion people on the planet.
Especially if it's a good man.
Your mother is an extreme example. Yes, she is.
My mama.
That woman is
I'm done arguing. I'm not even gonna argue about it no more.
Wait, he's right.
That's what we do.
Your mama is an extreme,
absolutely extreme example. Most women are not going to go through all that, and they're not going to handle it like that.
But that's not her. That's what she's saying.
Right.
She's saying because my mama showed me her what a woman's supposed to be. When you ask her would she go 50-50 with a man, when you asked her would she go 50-50 with a man, she's like, yes, because she's saying what her mama did and learned from her mother.
But in reality, she wouldn't want to.
So basically, you want to leave.
No one would want to go 50-50.
So
basically, you can get a baller who's going to take care of you.
So
basically,
you want to leave with money.
Opportunity to get a baller. Do you know who I am?
That's what I
No, I don't.
When I ask him to just take care of me. That's not special.
I can't hear.
That's BS, man. That's BS. I don't buy that.
My question, what I asked him about the situation.
I don't buy that.
Then don't swipe the card.
It makes sense.
You don't want to buy it, don't swipe the card.
That's
you see how easy that is?
That's what I'm saying. When I asked a question about the situationships, I was trying to get in to ask why are you doing for only 2 women?
Do you think it's hard to find a woman that go 50-50?
Yeah, women don't want to do 50-50. They look at you. The respect drop. If you come with a woman with 50-50, the respect gonna drop.
You leave with money.
You don't have to leave with money.
When you leave with money, that's all these women see.
Hold on. What do you mean the respect gonna drop? Define that.
Because if a woman, typically, because there's a whole lot of women on this planet, if you tell a woman, let's go 50-50, she's going to look at her option and say, why would I pick your black ass to go 50-50 with?
Those the options you choose.
You cut me off. Hold on. When it's 100 other motherfuckers going to take care of me, why would I settle with the 50-50 guy when I got options who are ballers?
You choosing them women. That's why I asked them that question.
Most women have no choice but to go 50-50.
Literally. And the numbers show it.
I don't believe that.
You talking out your ass.
I don't believe that.
Me being a mother of 3, what you think I have to do? You think
most of them, if you think about it,
if you got a baller, you will roll with them.
Let's just talk about the black community in itself. Majority of them are single, going 100.
You know why this is a contradiction? Everything that you
say. But why is that?
No. This is why this is a contradiction. Because y'all the same men that say, oh, she'll get a man who can't do nothing for her. She'll get a Pookie and a Ray Ray, let him come live in her house and do X, Y, Z, and she'll fall in love with him. But that good man that's over there that would have been able to pay all her bills, she don't want him. Yeah. You are a contradiction.
So she don't.
You
not a contradiction.
Because if she in love with the man who down bad, the one in prison getting the phone calls, and she in love and wait on him, and she put money on his books and he an extra bill. What makes you think she wouldn't go 50-50 if she had that same?
That's what I'm saying. What make him so special?
A woman come into a relationship and say, you know what, my rent $3,000. I ain't gonna turn down. I'm gonna turn down this $1,500 and just.
That's why when he said,
are you saying she would fall in love with the Pookie and Ray Ray?
She do. That's what y'all be saying. That's what y'all be saying.
Yeah, of course, girls do that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
What do you think a Pookie and Ray Ray is? He's a broke down, no good, nothing man dealing with multiple women.
So that got a man. So just by process of elimination, she would be willing to go 50-50 because if she's willing to pay for a nigga, then she has to be willing
to go one step up.
To go a step up to a nigga that's gonna pay half the bills.
Down, right. I'd rather be with you than to have Pookie drive my fucking car.
Now, granted, let's keep it real. Let's keep it a bang. Majority of people wouldn't have no problem paying with not having to pay bills.
Wouldn't.
Man or woman alike. If somebody came in and told you you ain't got to pay bills for the rest of your life, 99.9% of us would choose that.
Men.
However,
because you know what a woman gonna do. The carrot gonna be dangled a bit. I would never get that woman to power me like that. Because women are horrible with power. Women are horrible with power.
Presented the option to not have to pay bills,
they wouldn't pay them.
They wouldn't pay them.
And we see it all the time because you call them hobosexuals.
Right, them hobo damn sexuals.
We see it.
They use women as placeholders to get what
you
they
see
want.
the nigga that's standing behind the girl with it.
Come on now.
How many times you know there's been
Bro,
opportunities with dudes?
I would never do that.
Until you get on your feet. Let's keep this shit
Like,
100.
I'm not even talking about in the sense from having like another woman pay your bills. I'm just saying, say for instance, God came down today and told the whole world, you got two options.
Why you think they be playing the lottery?
I will pay all y'all bills for the rest of y'all life, or you can choose to pay your own bills. What percentage of the population gonna tell God, nah, man, I'm gonna pay my own bills?
Well, that's different, man. You talking about God, man.
But that's what
it ain't different.
If
it's
no, yeah, I wouldn't let a woman take care of me.
I'm not saying a woman. I'm not saying a woman.
I wouldn't let a woman take care of me.
Listen,
I'm not saying a woman.
I respect you having a credence to say I wouldn't let a woman take care of you. However, I'm just simply telling you the way that I value men in general, especially one that I would choose to be with. I would not disrespect him at the basis of money alone.
Right.
All right, now let me hit both of y'all with a major.
It's just a southern way. I just think it's just.
Look at men like that because I know men have more value to offer.
Let me ask both of y'all a question since y'all the girls.
I want to make a man feel down.
Y'all say y'all would be with a normal guy and y'all go 50-50. Why y'all both single right now?
Who said that?
Who's single?
Were you single?
I ain't single.
You got a man?
Yes.
You single?
A woman like me ain't never single.
You got a man?
What you talking about?
Okay.
And I got a man in the room for me if I need him to, right?
Right. I can hit up my phone right now and you cash at me real quick.
And
What's
then,
up?
But then again, hold on.
So y'all got boyfriends y'all claiming and they claiming y'all. You have a man.
Hold on. Let's just say
you have a boyfriend you claiming and he's claiming you. You're in a relationship.
So let me just say this.
Because women say all that. I date a normal guy and they be single to death.
That's neither here nor there. Because let's just say this. Even if I were single, I'm already set with this mindset. So it doesn't change because a man shows up. That don't change, and I don't get the feeling entitled to a man's money because it's already embedded in me. I got to see it. Other women are not getting to see it. So I can understand the different nicks and crannies that a relationship goes through, a marriage specifically. I know what that looks like when you're dealing with adversity. So again, making these prejudices about a wallet, my daddy told me a provider is past his wallet. A lot of these women think a provider is just financial and it's in the Bible and they don't even believe in God. So where you get that from?
It's one component of being a provider. You can't be a provider without the money. It's a component. It's not everything. It's a component,
but it's not the only one.
It's not,
and that's my
point.
Provision extends past money.
The thing is, where did it say?
It's not money. Don't stop me from respecting you because I was raised to respect the janitor the same way to respect the CEO.
Right. That's why when they say high value,
no, everybody was raised like that.
Right. Because it's a difference between high value. How I was raised.
You thinking in your mindset the way you is because of the women you deal with, but you ain't got to push it on me because I ain't gonna sit here and say, well, you just like this, you just don't like women. I ain't gonna say that about you. So why you feel like that about me?
I think all women are pretty much the same.
Well, you gotta stop thinking that.
No, you definitely gotta stop thinking that.
It's a better mindset to think all women are the same.
You gotta stop thinking that.
Hold on. It's a better mindset for a man to go into it thinking all of them are the same, they're all sluts, than to think that all women are sugar and spice and everything nice and they're all so different. If you think that way, you're going to get played. No. I've been dating women for a long time. I've dated a lot of women. I understand how women work. You will get played. Yes. Think every man is a dog. Yes. Think every man is a dog. If you go into it like if you go into it like that, you won't get disappointed.
Don't put words in my mouth.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to think what I think about a man. I'm gonna say every man is a trick and a simp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say every man.
And you never get disappointed.
But I don't think like that because that's negative. Like
it
you just
is,
said, just in the beginning, we said I asked you, I said, how do you preference with telling women you don't give out money? You said some women know who to play like
you know who to play
so
like
why
that.
don't you think that when it comes to certain men, I also get that same discernment, or vice versa? Why don't you feel like you can look at some women and go, I know she a hoe by the way she carries herself, but that woman, I'm not gonna play with her like that. So subsequently, you don't think all women
I can look at women,
but those are one of the two women he sponsored that he give money to.
Like I asked him,
you can look at women.
Like I asked him from the beginning of the damn show.
You can look at women.
Why you sponsoring two? Why you sponsoring two?
Okay, you saying sponsor. I said I would give them some money if they ask. I'm not saying sponsor.
That's a very dark way to view
people.
Thank you.
It's as a man in today's dating game. As a man in today's
leave them alone.
As a man in today's dating game, you cannot walk through life with rose-colored glasses, thinking women are sugar and spice and everything else. But you're saying the way I think is dark. The way I think is accurate because if a woman surprises me, I'm surprised. Oh, she's not what I thought she was. But I've been so after dating so long, bro. You go through them.
What percentage of the women would you say?
I've dated them all. I've dated them all.
What percentage of the women would you say that you've been with that you've dealt with.
Y'all not special.
Like, where you were like,
men are special.
What percentage of the women would you say were absolute sluts?
Okay, that's a strong term. Not
I mean,
absolute.
You gave it to you. Said you got to think of them as sluts.
I say that.
That's why
you
women
said
need
you
to
got to think
turn
of them as
that
sluts.
ass
So,
down.
what
That's why
percentage
they
of the
need to
women
turn
did you
that
date
ass
when you was
down.
like, this bitch is a slut?
No, man, I wouldn't say they're absolute
I
sluts.
bust her down the first night.
Right.
Hey, I've done it sometimes, but they're not.
But like,
I wouldn't say absolute sluts, man. But
like,
don't ever think a girl. Don't think she's a good girl. I would say no woman's a good girl.
That, but what percentage of the women would you say that you've dated?
You took the word too extreme. Not absolute slut. I know I said it, but I didn't mean it like that.
But you're saying don't
think women are good girls. Don't walk through like thinking all girls are good girls.
Nobody's saying think every woman is a good girl. All I'm simply saying is that we have discernment for a reason. But I would never go into the world assuming the worst in everybody.
With yourself, baby, you is something.
Because you gave one. Because if you said go in with discernment and with the ideology that anybody could be anything, but you treat them according to the way that they move. That's one thing. You said go into the world assuming that all these women are sluts.
Correct.
Yep.
That's a different mindset because it's the total complete opposite of the spectrum of thinking that they're all sweethearts. I'm not saying think they all sweethearts.
Extreme
I'm saying don't also think that they're all sluts.
Nah, you.
So what makes the other two women different? What makes them different?
If they're not. If I had to pick, if they're all sweethearts or all sluts, I would tell my son, just believe they're all sluts until she prove otherwise. Until she prove otherwise. Now, once a woman prove me otherwise, okay.
Well, why can't you just go in?
Because I'm not naive, man. I'm not naive.
This is the issue with what you're saying. Ooh. You're saying that you're not naive. You said you done dealt with a lot of women, and you saying that you basically know the game. But you're saying that even with all of this knowledge you've accumulated, you still looking at all women even the ones you have not dated, the same. So essentially, you're not learning. And at the basis of it, you probably should pick.
All right, so
he dating the same type of women.
That actually goes back to my original question.
You probably should
dating the same type of women.
Hold on, wait. That actually goes back to my original question. So you telling your son, if you had to pick one, assume they're all sluts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that goes back to my original question. What percentage of the women that you've dealt with have been absolute nothing but sluts?
Small percentage.
So why would you go? So why would you go and tell your son?
Can we talk about
to look at them differently from something you saying in your real opposite of what you saying in your real life?
I'm answering your question. So he's never disappointed. There it is.
That's operating out of fear.
That means your discernment not working. That means
that means I'm preparing him to not be disappointed.
That ain't what he's doing. That's operating out of fear.
Yeah, it is.
The fear that you might get hurt makes you believe. It's not about him. It's not about getting hurt. It's just believing. It's just believing they're bad until they show you they're good. That's all I'm saying. A woman, I'm gonna believe all women are bad until she show me otherwise. That's all I'm saying. Y'all breaking it down way too extreme.
But
I'm gonna believe they're all bad until they show me that they're good.
But
most of them don't show you that they're good. I have women show me that they're good, but very few show me that they're good.
You may not like the terminology hurt, but essentially that is what it is, because at the basis of it, you already telling her
he got to stop leading with money.
She do, she has to overextend and prove herself to you.
Yes.
But the thing is, she did not do what those other women did, and so that's just like me going. What
other women?
I'm just saying
they don't want us to vet men like that.
They're all dogs. You already think that.
I'm not saying that she did something specifically to hurt you. I'm not saying that a woman cheated on you or nothing like that. All I'm saying is it's kind of the same notion of when a woman is sitting there going, my last man did me like this, this, and this. So the next man, until he do X, Y, and Z, I ain't giving him no time.
Did you hear what he said, though?
Women do that?
You're doing the same thing.
You're doing the same
to
women.
I'm not doing
that. It's the same
I'm just making somebody prove. No, I'm not doing that.
It's problematic.
I've never said the old woman did me this way, so I'm looking at women like this.
I just used an example to compare.
You said all women are bad
until they show me that they're good.
You're saying all women are bad until they are good.
Show me that they're good. Yeah.
Correct. And most women, they essentially until one show they do the same thing. But
what's wrong with that?
Because so you don't see nothing wrong with women feeling like that.
Y'all already think I'll do the dog.
You can't say what we think.
You want to know what's wrong with that? 30% of us are married. Most of our kids are growing up out of wedlock.
67%.
Most of our kids growing up without parents, without a father at home. Most of them are experiencing poor grades, experiencing daddy and mommy issues,
and low poverty areas.
And low poverty areas, and we have a 60% divorce rate in our community.
Who do you blame?
That's the ultimate result of going into it with that mindset.
And black men still to this day, our children have the highest mental health issues.
You want to know the one thing?
Most of the stuff he just said was because women pick wrong.
No. You want to know the?
Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear all the stuff he rolled off?
No. Because if women pick wrong,
did you hear the stuff he just said?
This is why I said what I said at first.
That means that
stop fucking these type of men.
Surplus to stop. It's less of y'all than
that's
us.
all I was saying in the beginning. Stop fucking him.
Better men.
Hold on, wait. And you want to know one thing that Kevin Samuels always
wasting your time with men.
The number one thing that Kevin Samuels always told people to do is approach your situations in good faith. What you preaching and what a lot of women feel is approaching everything in bad faith.
I'm not approaching in bad faith. I'm just saying I believe that all women are bad. They show me that they're good.
That's approaching it in bad faith.
That's not, man. That's not. That's not. That's not. No, it's not. It's not being blindsided by being naive. I'm not gonna walk up to a bunch of chicks and think that they're all sugar and spice and everything nice. All these women, she just wants the best for me. I'm not gonna believe that.
Around the women you
I've tried them all, man. You quit saying I'm picking one type. I've tried them all.
You got to remember, I asked him a question. How many of the women that he dealt with was actually bad?
And he
said a very small percentage.
He did say they did.
So he's not even experiencing these women, but he's telling people.
He's talking about
them to assume they sluts until proven otherwise. When it's very real, reality doesn't show that.
Hold on, 9 times out of 10, the women that you're getting the money to ain't shit.
Well, no, it's not even that.
I don't give women money. I told you I would give. I told you I'd give them a couple bucks. She makes it like I'm sponsoring.
I don't like doing it. I don't like attacking people personnel because he shared the information. I don't even want to do that.
I mean, I don't care what y'all saying, but I'm just listening.
I will say, if you're sitting here saying like your ideology is that.
Look,
wait a minute.
Let me pause you. Because y'all 3-on-1 me right now. Y'all attacking my mindset, but I'm the only bachelor in the room. He's been together with this woman like 10, 12 years.
Correct.
Y'all both got boyfriends and whatever. I've been dating for a long time. I've been single for a long time. I've dealt with all of them.
But you're saying
I'm telling you, I don't care what y'all saying. I know how women operate.
That's fine if you don't care what we're saying, but you in the conversation.
I know how women operate.
So you're entertaining what we're saying. You ain't got to care.
You're coming from a female lens of listening to what I'm saying. There are a lot of other single let me say something. There are a lot of other single bachelor men that would agree with me wholeheartedly because they're dating like I am. Not him, not you.
Correct. Understood. There are also a lot of single women who would agree with you, and I got a problem with them too. So
they're not men.
Correct.
They're not men.
Although they're not.
They want to be.
Gender.
They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be wanting to be
Gender
us.
Is not the problem.
Yes, it is.
It's
a different in us. It's a big difference in men and women. We are not the same. You know that in your heart of hearts, men and women are not the same.
If you're saying,
you don't have to be the same to think the same thing.
Women shouldn't think like me.
No,
I'm a man. I got nuts.
The way you think is problematic.
No, it's not.
Because you ain't giving women a fair chance.
I'm giving them a fair chance. They got to show themselves. They got to prove themselves to me.
Can we go to the next question?
They got to prove themselves to me.
That's not a fair chance.
That's not fair. How they not prove
themselves? Do women not tell dudes they got to prove themselves?
But that's the point.
Stop worrying about that.
That's the point that I'm saying. Everybody's approaching.
I don't want no man to think I'm his ex.
Every man and woman is approaching.
Why would you think he's his ex?
No, I don't want a man to think of me as being bad first, and I gotta prove myself to him.
You wouldn't know it when you met him.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
He would just make you prove yourself. He would put you. You never know. Okay. You got all the game. Okay.
I need a drink.
Okay, I got you.
I need a drink.
I'm sorry. If you can't dance with me, just let me know. I'll let you go.
I don't care about nothing you saying.
Man, what I asked him in the beginning. I was trying to get to the. Please.
Not please, nothing.
That's why I was. I don't know how to make that. I ain't know about him.
Make whatever you got. As long as it got the peach in it.
Oh.
I'm okay with the shame and language. I'm a bachelor. I've been a bachelor for a long time. I'm okay with the shame and language.
You say that.
I'm okay with shame.
You say
no,
that
but if a man dated.
You say that assuming that I haven't had multiple.
I know you have. How old are you?
I'm
35. How old are you?
I'm 29.
You've dated a lot of dudes. You've had a lot of experience with dudes. Because she's 29, she's probably dated a lot of guys. Is that a false belief? You probably dated a lot of guys.
No, babe.
No, I've been in long relationships. No. Any man I be with want me long term, baby.
So why aren't you with them niggas now?
I'm with. What you mean?
Why aren't you with the niggas now? Let me see your finger. You prove the stereotype that women walk out of 70-80% of relationships. Why did you leave them? Were they bad? Why did you leave them? Why did you leave them? Well, why would you be with somebody you didn't want? What was wrong? What was wrong with him while you would marry him? What was wrong with him while you would marry him?
Just like some of y'all stay in marriages y'all don't want to be in.
I would never marry a woman. I wouldn't do that. And I got relatives. I got relatives that say that.
To stay for the kids.
No, it's not.
Job
I got relatives that do that, and I tell them to get out of it.
I don't think that we see that. Kids see that.
They do. Kids see that.
But that's the thing. It's not your job to make me happy.
I don't like that, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't like that. Wait a minute. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like that. Because as a woman who's been around women who are single parents, the same way y'all say you can't stay with the daddy because y'all unhappy, you sit there and go and deal with other men and date multiple of them, and your kids don't see you unhappy.
A lot of women.
A child do not have to see you physically with another man to know when they mama unhappy, because innately children know they mama.
But that's what I'm saying. Even when you stay in marriages, like
it don't matter. That's a new point.
Like what you went through. I'm talking about what I sat in and what I saw and what
understood
and what affected me and why I had to go to therapy is due to the fact that I saw both of my parents unhappy. Even though I was born in a 2-parent household, I'm saying kids see that. I'd rather see my daddy happy.
Happiness is a tangible emotion. It goes up and down.
Yeah, it comes and goes. But marriage ain't about being happy.
It ain't never about being happy.
But you know what though? I'm gonna say this. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Hold on, wait. Here's the problem.
You don't know that because your children.
All of us went to therapy.
It don't matter about therapy. Therapy at the point you cannot say
you being a single mother definitely affects your kids.
Was not the same way your kids were.
What did you see in my household?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You don't know.
That's why I hate talking to
my
people when
kids
talk about personal experience.
With me being by myself to be in that
They
situation.
don't want their daddy around? They don't want their daddy around?
Your statement was, my kids are not affected.
No, they're affected.
They are affected.
Every single you're doing the best you can.
Hey,
you're doing the best you can.
Mommy 3. Hold on, wait. Question.
Mommy
3. Do you not realize the fact that you even have to check in?
Correct.
Shows that
No, because that's something that was a generational thing where I dealt with in my family. It was a point where we barely hugged. Like, especially when my mom passed, because my mom is not here anymore. But still, it was a thing where affection was a big problem in my household.
That's not essentially what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, we talking about happiness and we talking about staying together with the person that you made the kids with. And the thing is, the argument always is, wait a minute. Stop talking to me about your personal life.
So he was a bad guy.
No, wait a minute. Give me a second. Talk about statistics.
I'm not talking about statistics. I didn't even bring
Was he a bad guy?
The thing is, you didn't listen to what I was saying before you started trying to tell me about your personal situation. I didn't bring up statistics.
But no,
I didn't say that.
But you telling me how my kids and how
No, I'm not.
No, she's not.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you did.
No, listen. Hold on, wait. Mommy 3.
You told me, do you know what happiness is? Do you know what this and that?
I didn't say that.
How did you know your kids were happy? How did you know
I didn't say that.
I know for sure that my
I did not say
were
any of
happier.
that.
She didn't say any of that.
Yes, she did.
No,
she said, "Do you know what happiness is?" Yes, she did.
She basically said
it's a tangible emotion.
That's all she was explaining. She's not telling you that whether your personal situation is happy or not.
So,
I mean, if I'm speaking on a personal situation, you cannot. When you speak, I'm thinking of what I just said, which was personal.
Correct. But you keep over talking me, and you ain't let me finish the point, and that's why you think I'm talking about you personally. So what I'm saying is, when people have this mentality that I can leave because I'm unhappy with the person that I made children with, they don't never take into consideration the same way your kids see you emotionally attached and detached to their parent. They also see you walk in the house dealing with another person and see those same reflective emotions. They also see up and down.
But that's not.
Hold on. They also see up and down. No, it's not. Even if. No, it's not. Even if. you don't, even if you don't see them,
that is changing.
even if
No,
your
it's not.
children
It's not really.
don't,
Hold on, wait. Hear out.
even if your kids don't see you date another person, they know what those emotions are reflecting of when you're not happy. Bottom line. So while we're sitting here saying, "Oh, well, I should leave the person that I made them with because they not making me happy," you still going to get with other people who not making you happy.
But what if it's mutual? What if both?
It's never mutual. It's never mutual.
What if it's mutual?
It's never
you can't
mutual.
say never. But what if it's mutual?
One person always wants to leave.
What if it's mutual?
Person.
Both parties say, you know what, this is not working.
And I'm gonna tell you this: in majority of the cases, it's not that.
It's never mutual. It's never mutual.
But so what if it was mutual?
So if you can mutual, I'm gonna pull it away from you. I'm about to go to kind of what Paris is alluding to. The crazy thing is that we can be unhappy at jobs, and our kids will see us do it, and we will stick with that job through thick and thin, regardless of the fact. Because you want to know why we're willing to stick through. Because we understand the job is what I need
in order to get to the next level.
In order to get
so, do you feel like people should stay in marriages if they are unhappy?
Absolutely, and find a way to be happy. Just like you find a way to make your job. You find a way to find the happiness in your job.
Y'all call unhappy emotionally unhappy because you can fix that, like emotional.
That's only happiness
is.
That's all that is. It's emotional.
So that's the only way y'all can think of. I'm just gonna say a bad marriage. A bad marriage should people
what is a bad marriage?
The number one reason why people leave is because
I'm talking about like some Ike and Tina type shit.
If he's putting his hands on you, can leave.
I'm just saying a bad marriage all across the board.
But Ike and Tina was abuse.
Y'all can't agree to if this dresser works in this room or not. I'm talking about where your kids constantly see the dad and the mom, because dads get unhappy too, dad get abused too. Not just women.
But at that point, you're talking about an abusive marriage.
Abuse is a lower reason why people leave. The main number one reason why people leave is irreconcilable. No, it's irreconcilable.
It's finance.
No.
I hate that term. No, I know that's the term, but I hate that term. It's about money.
Mama 3.
That's not
irreconcilable difference. That's not an explanation or anything.
No. See, this is why you're wrong. Because women have been proven that the quickest way for us to...
when they ain't
hold on. No.
Yeah, most of them
Wait. The reason why it is irreconcilable differences because it has been proven that the easiest way for a woman to gain riches is to get married. The easiest way for her to get more riches is to get divorced.
Yes,
so money is not the first reason.
And have
women are 8 out of 10 more likely to divorce than men, and the main number one reason is irreconcilable.
What does that mean though?
Unhappiness.
Most women leave because
you know a woman's not happy. A woman cannot be happy for anything.
But that's her point.
Women that leave a
her point. That's her point.
Yeah. A woman can be happy for anything.
Her point is that when people try to allude to the fact that it's finances or it's abuse or it's infidelity, it's none of that. It's just simply.
See, y'all talking about
it's just simply I'm not feeling the way that I don't want to be here no more. I want to go and get a job. I want to go work here, but if my family requires me to do this and I don't feel like doing it no more.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
But that's the reason why majority of these marriages break down.
Like if it's just a real badass marriage, I feel like
would you say you and your father? Would you say you?
I just feel like men and women should stay in a marriage. In that case, if that stuff can be fixed.
But that's most of the cases. That's most of the
when I said that can be
y'all
fixed.
Heard me. Paris,
majority of them has been proven like they could have been fixed. People just chose to leave them.
You remember that podcast that we did on Lapeef Let's Talk? I think Paris was on there too. And I said majority of the reasons that people leave each other is for stupid reasons.
Yes.
And that is most of it is fixable.
Yeah.
That's majority of the time.
Y'all keep saying people, but 70-80% of divorces are filed by women. So the reason women leave is a stupid reason. That's what you're saying.
I mean, but that's neither here nor there.
That's a big fact. You can't ignore that.
But this is why your point is
men don't really run out of marriages.
No. This is why your point is
we're not happy and we stay because we need to take care of the woman and the kids.
Y'all always stay. Y'all stay when y'all unhappy. Men always stay when they unhappy.
About duty.
I'm sorry.
But if I'm telling you that, hold on, wait a minute.
Why do men stay
if I'm telling you that 100% of marriages And the number one spot is due to irreconcilable difference.
That's not a
Don't
reason.
you know that? Wait a minute. Listen to what I'm saying. See, y'all listen more than y'all.
The three things that I brought. What's up? A mixture of the three. However strong you want to make it, however not strong you want to make it. It's a mixture of the three.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Do you agree that's vague?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Do you agree that's vague?
Yes, but hear me out. If you're saying that irreconcilable difference is number one, that 20% or 30% of men leaving, that still goes into the number one spot. It has nothing to do with infidelity, because that's essentially saying that men are taking back their cheating wives. It has nothing to do with money, because that's even saying if she's stealing from him, he probably knew it and he still stayed. That even goes into domestic violence. So that's essentially saying if she up in there whooping his ass and emotionally abusing him, he still stayed until he got unhappy. So regardless of what you're saying, who leaves the most, at the basis of it, you got two people contributing to the number one spot of unhappiness over stupid shit. You gotta stop thinking
that's why she's.
I don't
hold on, wait. That's why she's saying it's moot. The reason why it's moot. Hold on, wait. The reason why it's moot. Hold on, wait. The reason why it's moot because what she's saying is it doesn't matter who's initiating the divorce.
It does matter.
Hold on, wait. It doesn't matter because it's moot to the point I was making, and I'm about to explain why. Because what she's saying is it doesn't matter who's initiating the divorce. It's all for stupid ass reasons.
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
That's what she was saying.
That's exactly what she was saying.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's moot. It's because it doesn't matter who's doing it. It's still for stupid reasons.
That's why I say you can't include gender in this.
No, but that is the gender of it. Because 70% of marriages are
you want to break it down, but what we're saying is it don't even matter by you breaking it down.
I don't care if it's a woman.
Men aren't leaving because of irreconcilable differences.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
That's how it gets to the number one spot.
Men aren't leaving because
when divorces are found for the statistics, they do separate the demographic who's found the most, but they also separate why. So it could not be the number one spot if men were also not making it the number one spot. Because if that was the case when men filed, they would say things like adulterous, or they would say things like money. And the thing is, women cheat.
Even amongst men, it's still the number one spot.
Exactly. Even with men, it's still at the number one spot. And most women already, over 50% of women already have a backup partner. So even though men are not out loud and boisterous about the cheating, even men are staying in marriages knowing that they are getting cheated on.
Do you agree that needs to be changed? Because irreconcilable difference is so vague. It's too vague. It's just way too vague. It's a catch-all.
I'm not going to say things to agree with you. I'm just saying if you're going off of
you're going to go without agreeing with me. Okay, you don't want to agree. Got you.
I'm not going to say things to get you. You have a tendency to ask questions to manipulate the argument to forward your point, and that's not the conversation.
I'm not manipulating nothing. I'm asking you a question. You just said it was vague.
I don't agree.
You said it was vague.
I can't agree that it should be changed because I'm not a person that's never initiated a divorce. I just asked you a simple question. So I cannot agree or disagree.
You won't answer a simple question. I got you.
I can't agree or disagree.
Okay, you want to answer a simple question. I got you.
What was the question you asked? I got it, Paris. What was the question that you asked?
I asked you, don't you think that they should change it? Irreconcilable differences is way too vague.
Fair.
That basically means a woman can be like, I'm not happy with irreconcilable differences.
I mean, he married, so we can ask him.
All right, so basically, are you asking, should they?
It should be changed. And
change to what?
The reason on why you're divorcing. Spell it out, baby girl or baby boy. Shit. Why are you leaving this woman? Why are you leaving this man? You can't say irreconcilable differences because mean any damn thing. And the number one after irreconcilable differences, finances. The nigga lost his job. I'm out.
Here's the thing.
We ain't going on cruises. I'm out.
So here's the thing.
You don't make me happy no more. I'm out.
I'm gonna say this. Here's the thing. I don't think that.
He don't make me happy no more as irreconcilable.
I don't think it matters.
Probably.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think it matters whether it gets. You gave me your cup.
Oh Lord, I know where your mouth been, Lord.
On my wife's pussy. Did you sip out of it?
No, I think I did.
You definitely sipped out of it. Look at the difference in color. You drunk the hell out of this. God damn. Here. Talking about you don't know what.
It don't matter no more. Y'all already the kids.
All right.
They're kids.
But here's the reason why. Here's the reason why it doesn't matter. Because whether they spell it out to you or not, is it still not for a dumbass reason?
Yeah. I mean, finances.
If we found out that, if the reality is, if we found out that most of the people started spelling out the reason why they got a divorce, right?
I think
found out legitimately that only less than 30% of them was for the worst parts of what people say: finances, abuse, whatever.
I think most women get divorced because they're just not happy anymore with their husband. They're bored. I don't
agree with that, but other situations, yeah.
So what would it matter if women spelled it out? What would that solve?
It would put up a big banner to most men who want to get married. If you get married, that's cool. Know what to look for.
Well, actually, to even break it down even more, because you keep trying to put this number on it, but the reason because I did remember that you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you want to pay all the bills.
I do.
You don't want your woman to have no input financially.
I don't want to. No, she don't need to pay no bills.
Okay,
that's stress. That's stress.
Understood. But those women who are stay-at-home moms, they typically are the ones who get left more. Those women husbands file more. The women who are actually filing more and contributing to the 70% are the ones who make way more than their husbands.
Do you know why that is?
No, I know why, but I'm just telling you, right? So you're saying, yeah, I know why, but the idea that you already want your woman to pay more, and you're already vindicated.
Pay more. I don't want to pay more.
I mean, pay nothing. I'm sorry. You want to pay everything.
Yeah.
And then you're already sitting there vindicating women saying we all potentially are sluts. And then you're already saying that basically you don't really want her to have any financial input. Those women get left.
I wouldn't leave.
We don't know that because the numbers don't show that.
That's
the highest rate of men who divorce
actually, it's been proven that. Well, obviously, we know the higher up in income that families go,
the less divorce,
the less likely we see divorce.
What she's saying is the men who are divorcing or the men who have money, they're divorcing.
No.
But if a man makes...
they ain't divorcing them. If they got money, they ain't divorcing them.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the women who are not financial contributors to their relationships are getting left. The women who are stay-at-homes, the ones who cannot pay rent and who are getting controlled financially, it shows in the numbers they are the highest ones that are getting left.
So the
woman who's due the most leaving are the women who are the women who do the most leaving. Because we know that when you're talking divorce, the financial aspect ranges, right? It's not always women who are making six figures, et cetera, et cetera. It could be a woman making nothing that she decided to file for divorce.
All right, y'all, let's switch gears.
Let's switch gears.
The women who are mostly getting left are the ones who pay no financial contribution.
All right, y'all. Let's switch gears real quick. All right, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. I got a light question for y'all.
I don't know about this one, Sweeney.
I think did I ask this? No, I asked this on my show. So JR know the question I'm about to ask. If chivalry is a responsibility of men, right? I.e., for men in general, where they have to show chivalry to women in general, right? Mm-hmm. What is the equivalent when it comes to women for men in general?
Respect.
Hold on, say it again, because it's based on what y'all see in a woman, right?
Chivalry, no, because chivalry is expected for men no matter who the woman is. So if I see a woman on the side of the road and her tire's flat, regardless, I'm supposed to stop and help that woman out. If I'm walking up to a door and there's a woman walking up behind me, she ain't got to be my woman. Right. I'm supposed to open up the door.
Okay.
So if chivalry is a responsibility of men to women in general, what is a responsibility to men from women? I mean, what is a responsibility from women to men in general?
Submission and servitude.
So
automatic.
What does that look like?
Give us something where you feel like a woman should have stepped up.
I'm glad you asked.
I want to know. Like, give us an example.
You didn't answer the question, though. She answered. You didn't answer it, though.
I'm asking him. He need to let me know a situation where he feel like a woman should step up.
You answer the question.
Boy, go on somewhere now.
So you want to know something that they talk about, right? Mm-hmm. Is that, for instance, a man that sees a man is supposed to damn near give his life for a woman in need.
You ain't got to go extreme, Sweeney. I got one for you.
Hold on, I got it. So, for instance, if we see a woman out there experience some shit, we supposed to go out there and save her. Life and risk life and limb from her.
I think that's extreme.
One thing, that is an extreme, but I'm about to give something. One thing that women used to do for men that you do not see them do anymore in general is that there used to be a time where women used to cook for men that didn't have wives.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And made sure they were fed.
I mean, cook for the whole neighborhood. I'm just saying.
So, like, that used to be a thing. But do you see women going out their way to cook for men?
And I think that's
I just feel like where you from.
That's an extreme. That's an extreme give and take. Even though that is the implication, but I would say something so simple as a man seeing a woman carrying her groceries in the house, he comes to help her.
Right.
I think that that's a form of the provision. Right. That's what it should expectation. Even now, still to this day, are holding the door, and that's why I say general respect. When a man is holding the door, nothing's wrong with saying thank you. When a man is saying you look beautiful, giving you a compliment, nothing's wrong with smiling in appreciation, and stop assuming that every man wants you, and just simply give general respect. I really do think that servitude and submission should be an application to all men the same way chivalry and protection should be an application to all women.
So, I just feel like I will say this though. So I get what you're saying, that general respect is definitely good.
Women are not taught to respect.
But that's a direct. What you're kind of alluding to is a direct response to chivalry.
Can I say something?
My question is, what is a woman's duty to men that is tangible, that we can for instance, you can count the fact that I came out there and helped you on the road.
But can I say something?
But that's why I
can I say something?
And I was very clear about it. I said servitude and submission.
I really feel like it's about where a woman.
She said servitude.
Yeah.
What is servitude? That's what
okay, can I get an example? I mean, can I say let me in, coach. All I got, what I'm gonna say is, I really feel like it's about where a woman is from and how she was raised. Is the only way to determine it, because like when I first got with my man and I come over his house and he had like laundry that he just throw it on the bed, I would go and fold it. But that's just kind of like a natural thing. I feel like it's about how a woman is raised on how went to determine chivalry.
So you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy though?
I'm a cook. I cook
you know what's crazy though?
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where a man was raised.
Correct.
I'm talking about for a woman. You said what can a woman do for a man? Like, and when I fold them clothes, he was like, "You fold my clothes." I'm like, they was laundry on the bed. Like, that's just something that I just do. And he was like, "Damn."
An example, because we always take it to the bedroom, but we ain't even got to talk about the bedroom. Just to give an example, right? When we first started filming, we talked about my phone in the car, and I told JR, like, I'm always busy because I run all my accounts. I'm always on call for people. And when we came in, the first thing he did was grab my phone and set it down. I ain't picked up my phone since we've been here. I ain't argued with him about it because that was direct submission, right? He ain't have to be my man for me to show him that type of respect, to say he put it down and I follow his lead. I let it go. Now, in this particular case where we just seen you and Sweeney like, hey, it's your turn, and you kind of gave him a little pushback. I wouldn't have did that. I would have just got up.
Well, me, I'm just how I am. I was just joking.
So you ain't raised. So you ain't raised right. That's what you're saying. You ain't been raised right.
It's just me, my personality. That's just how I raised. I was gonna pick something.
But you notice the difference though. When you spoke about the female version of chivalry or servitude,
yeah, that's what it is.
You spoke for your man.
Correct.
I'm talking about all men. I'm talking about for men in general.
Well, I just think for me, even when I have
I was gonna say
company,
that. You say even when I have
company, I just think I'm just overly polite anyway.
Like, you remember the
like
movie?
Me, I'm the type of person, y'all ate, you need something, or that's just me. But a lot of people
in a sector where you can control the environment.
I'm saying, like, if I'm just out in public or if I'm out with friends or this and that, I'm just always, when it comes to, even with a man, I just say, they be like, I ain't never had that. Or they'll say like little comments like, oh, I ain't never had nobody do that. Like me, I'm the type of person I'll fix a plate. Even if they
let me ask you a question.
They're just the type of person that I am. That's how I was raised.
So if you're saying, here's a great example of that, right? This is what I mean. For example, a man who sees a woman on the side of the road in need, we would stop and help her, right? If you walk past a construction site and you seen these men out here, they've been working hard all day. Would you go out there? Would you go back home and make?
I did for firefighters. Every week, me and my kids bring them groceries. and they ain't my man.
But that
That's
was
community service though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, but it's
I mean, it's
still
community service, but
serving
it's
them.
servitude.
Like,
It is
they
servitude.
wife could have did that for them, but still.
I guess for me, how I think about it is more interpersonal, right? Like, and I always put it to an interpersonal level because the first thing we do is we try to do it where we doing it in an extreme because community service is an extreme. And then if you're talking about a relationship, your intimacy, like that's kind of expected. But in rationale, like I don't give men a hard time when I'm out, and I
don't give men a hard time.
No, I ain't saying.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I think it's a lot of times what happens is we have a lot of women, and what they'll do is anytime they're in dire need for something, it's why can't I always find a man? Why can I never find a man to help me?
A man should do this for me.
Exactly. But anytime they are getting men to genuinely be nice to them, like it's very common for me to go places and men open doors for me. Right. It's very common for me to go home and see somebody walking and go, do you need help with that? Because that is the energy that I give off. I always make room for a man, regardless if he's my man or not. And you don't get that a lot of times with women in general today. No. So the servitude is not there. A lot of times women are extending their legs before they extending their hand.
Whew, hey, stop opening up them damn legs.
That's a bar. That's a bar. But no, but you missed what she said. Oftentimes women extend their legs before they extend their hands. I.e., if you saw a group of men on the side of the road, or if you saw a hard-working man,
this pussy,
and all you did, you would give him pussy faster than you would go and make him a plate.
That's sad.
And that's problematic.
But that's what I was saying at the beginning of the whole. It's like
a sandwich.
And the reality is, that man to be that if that man was single, he'd be like, God damn, this woman just made me a goddamn plate.
Let me think about her. She offered me some food. She cared about me eating.
Because I'm telling you, if just like,
but you know why I think that is though, is because the chivalry that men provide now is no longer seen. Yeah. It's not even that. It's no longer seen as the same way I just said that a man would view a woman who came up and made him a plate. And all he would be in like, oh my God.
The chivalry provided today is harassment if she ain't attracted to you.
Yep, you hit on the head. I've always people about that. You hit on the head.
Paris dropping bars today. Yeah. God damn. Paris dropping bars today.
I agree with you 110% on that.
When men say they like natural women, right? Most women will also allude to and say, I get more attention from men when I look a mess. However, we also know we are getting attention from you when we dress it up and we go out. However, the difference is the intention. When you approach me looking a mess, I know for a fact you seeing authentic me. So your intentions are going to be to take me a little bit more serious. But if I met you at the club and it's 1:00 and the club finna close, I already know what type of time you want. Right. So yes, I know, even if I downplay it tonight, I know what your intentions are because I know how you met me. It's going to be harder for me to get you to see me authentically as opposed to if you met me at the grocery store with my hair pent up and no makeup on and my regular work around the house clothes. It's the same thing as the BBL aesthetic.
Because I love my natural. They be like, oh, girl.
It's so common for men to approach me when I'm at the grocery store or when I'm at the gas station, and I look up when I'm leaving the gym. It's so common. But the same thing can be said about men in the club. Yeah. I know that men are approaching me when they see me with the bust down middle part, when they see me with the halter top on and pushed up titties, and they see me with all my curves showing. You approach me then too, but I know your intentions are different.
That is true.
Because I feel like even with no makeup, I just still feel like women should just always keep their like maintenance up. Keep your skin pretty and. You got some women just let themselves go. Like they take
men like that though.
Yeah.
You saying
I'm talking about like pretty. I'm talking about like a skincare. Like most men, like I'm just saying, like it makes the woman feel better about herself.
Not necessarily, because maintenance is.
I ain't talking about makeup. Maintenance.
I ain't saying makeup. Maintenance. I said maintenance. Maintenance to me is a job for a woman. And the difference is a lot of women today don't actually relish in their natural beauty. So we are imposing these things on us. We're saying when you walk outside, you need to keep your hair done. Who's to say that this ain't the way I want my hair?
Maintenance for me is make sure my real hair is oiled. Make sure that my skincare, make sure that my skin is pretty, make sure that I'm eating the proper things to keep my skin and keep my body going. Like, that's what I feel like maintenance for me. Like, I go to the gym a lot. Going to the gym, just keeping yourself active, that's maintenance. I'm talking about like not.
I think that's because what I'm thinking about when I hear maintenance, I'm thinking of the upkeep of getting your nails done and beautifying your.
Girl, these press on, baby.
No, but honestly, like that's what I think of when I hear maintenance for a woman, right? So when you saying a woman should keep herself together, there are really women who get up every single day and they do a full face of makeup.
Oh Lord,
I work with them. Like you're getting up every day, Monday through Friday. You wearing heels. This is your look. This is your thing. You saying no, but it's some women who like I ain't going outside if I can't look like that.
I know a lot of women like that.
So that's why I say for me, it just depends. Like you have to be able to dance with the devil that you want to dance with, because more times often than not, even now, when I make content, I try to make it without makeup. Because that's what I do. Like,
I don't do no content with makeup. All my content, no makeup.
I feel like I want people to be able to see generally authentic me.
Yes. And you know what?
I make content without makeup too.
I know you look good.
I feel like that's why people like my content, because I'm just natural, no filter. It's just like raw me.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all like men that manscape?
No, yeah, I do. I don't necessarily prefer it, but
it's so. It's so.
I like the shadow more.
The shadow?
Because
y'all know what I'm talking about, my manscape, right? Yes, I ain't talking about the beard. I'm talking
about yes.
Oh, that gotta be well.
No, I enjoy the pheromones of a man.
Shit.
So I personally feel like when it is a little hair, to me, it draws me more closer to you. It arouses me more.
Because I think it's like the aroma. It's the aroma. Y'all just don't understand. Just like, I don't know, like my man can just smell when I'm like.
Steph, you manscape?
I prefer the shadow.
I prefer a shadow. I just do because.
What about you, JR? You manscape?
I like a little heel. I like a little.
Hey, look, I manscape. I don't do it often.
No, I mean I wax.
I do too. That's why I've been saying. Like,
I wax.
You know what? I ain't gonna even lie. I feel like that is a part of my maintenance too. It's a part of my. I gotta wax. Like,
but I'm also one of the women. Like he gonna get whatever.
He gonna, because if he love me, it don't matter.
No, it's not if he love you, but realistically, like
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's bullshit.
I care about.
I'm gonna explain to you why.
What you like?
I'm gonna explain to you why I say that's bullshit. Because I guarantee you, if you go the day when you get that wax, he stays down there a whole lot longer than he normally does.
True.
Yeah,
but
true.
I will also say this, like I can say for me.
So do you want the long tongue? Do you want the short tongue? Because the short tongue you gonna get out there.
Let's clear that. So y'all like it like that, right?
Y'all prefer that. I don't like to have to pull hair out my teeth.
I'm sorry. To me, it hit better. Don't get me wrong. I love the honey bun. But it hit better when you got that bush.
That little stubble. It's like a little stubble. It really do.
Because now,
I promise it do.
For me, I actually am getting more. It's the natural feeling of it.
That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like that's me transitioning to grown women. However, whatever he prefers, that's what I'm gonna do.
But just like we said, we prefer y'all with a little something because it's the aroma of the man.
But I paid attention to how my sex differs.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I paid attention to it. Like,
baby, can we get after a dog, Lapeef after a dog, baby?
Lubricated when I'm waxing.
Baby, I'm ready for Lapeef after dog.
I have hair. And I get more lubricated when I get hair, but I also notice that he tends to be more intimate
when
I have hair. But it's not because he likes to like the hair. It's literally just attraction. That's nature. My pheromones are more heightened. But so he's far more intimate.
Just like I just said,
more when I have hair. Man, he can smell the aroma.
That's why I'm thinking my man can smell when I'm ovulating. I don't know what it is.
It's nature.
That he be like he knows when I'm ovulating. He can smell that shit. He can smell that shit. He
I don't know nothing about no pheromones and stuff like that.
So you never.
I know when she ovulates. I know because we got an app and everything. I know when she ovulates.
Well, mine, he be knowing. He be like,
that's the week I'm looking forward to.
Wait, okay, so Sweeney, I challenge you to do do this because this is what I start paying attention to. So I have real, like, thorough, like, it's real intricate, real detailed conversation with my man, like, to the point where when I go to the doctor, he getting the results soon as I get them. Like, it's real intricate, it's real thorough. I don't hold back. Whatever he want to do, he send a video. He be like, "You want to do this?" And I be like, "If you want to do it, we gonna do it." That's the response. But I'm open like that with him because he allowed me to be that comfortable,
right?
And even down to the insecurities that I had with my body. He'll grab me, he'll hold me, and he'll say, "I love your body."
Like, I hate my arms. He'll be like, "Girl, you don't let them arms out."
I feel like I'm problematic. But what I did do, I started noticing, like, okay, when I'm doing this, this is when the sex is better. When I'm doing this is when the sex is, good.
But do y'all listen to women?
I would say my wife is the opposite. She's the opposite of, she's more into when she gets her wax and all of that done. Like,
I am too.
Yeah.
But I'm not as lubricated. I'm more into it because it's more sensitive.
Oh no, I think she. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't.
Well, I know what it is.
Baby, because
when
I wouldn't know. I'm just.
When you get that honey bun,
when I get that little, I be on my legs. So you better see this motherfucker.
It's far more sensitive. It's far more prickly. Like,
but when I got that little healer down there,
and it go crazy.
When I got that little healer,
I can tell you,
I'm more wetter.
From my personal experience, because every woman's body is different. For me, I have noticed, and probably because we've been dealing with each other so long, it's been like a little over 3 years now. When I have hair and I've fully got a bush,
she ain't lying.
For some reason, and I just make it just goes crazy. Like, it's far more lubricated.
It really is.
It gets way more.
It's like a natural. I don't know what it is. It's like a natural thing. I don't know what it is. The hair, is something.
It's way more.
That makes it like, oh my God, like, I don't know what it is.
Me either. And I enjoy the honey bun. I love the honey bun.
But that's why I said when it comes to maintenance, I feel like even when women marry, like, I just feel like they should always, like, stay fit and just do something to make themselves feel better.
My hair fixed, rocking the high outfit.
I just don't want women to let themselves go because they have kids and because this is like.
You know what? I don't think a lot of dudes really give a shit if she let herself go after the kids.
I do.
I'm gonna tell you why.
They do.
They care if it's over exaggerated. What I mean by that, if you go from
you can visibly see she gained 35 pounds.
Like, you can see, like, she goes from skinny to Rasputia. That's different.
Or every time she go outside, she got a little stitch to her. She got a tatted t-shirt.
How would
she
you
don't do nothing to herself at all.
You gotta understand.
How would you tell your woman that gained a lot of weight?
A guy wouldn't have a problem. We care a lot about proportion.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if your titties and your ass got a little bit bigger, but they came with a little gut,
we
gonna rock with the gut,
right?
Because their ass and the titties came with it.
Man, that's why I always reject them nuanced conversations of men love little women, and I'm like, babe, I'm from the South.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's like
Hold
women.
On, wait. But
like,
that means
be like, I like skinny women.
I would say this:
it's regional.
Men give a lot more. Men give a lot more leeway to the women that they make babies with. To the women that they marry.
They do.
They give them that leeway.
How would you communicate with a woman
coming into a situation, I like to go off of the results.
So if she
when you talk to any woman, it's not even about, like, because a lot of people like to look at it from a man's perspective and say, well, a man's gonna say, oh, you overweight, so they're not dealing with you. I don't like to go off of that because the very thing you can do to argue that argument is, well, some men don't. I don't go off of that. I'll go off of what women say. If you go to any woman and you go to any big girl who got big and used to be small, or go to a small girl who used to be big, they will tell you my options are totally different compared to.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You just told the fucking truth.
No, it's absolutely
You just
true.
spit some motherfucking balls right there.
Even when men talk about, like, women being over 200 pounds, you can take a woman who 212 and put her beside a woman who 145, but if they body build the same way, he ain't finna disagree unless one of them don't look like the other. Because
it's so crazy. Because even with, and I can relate to that because in college I was like 180. I was more on the thicker side, but when I got with my kid's father, I gained weight. I was almost like 300 some pounds.
And wow! Also,
like,
it's the same way.
I was big, and then it's so crazy because, like,
Oh, I don't care what go on. I ain't hitting
when
200, pregnant and all.
When I became single, like I had 2 kids back to back and stuff like that, and I was like, that's why I always say, always keep. That's why I'm just such an advocate for keeping yourself up. Like always keep yourself up, because I let myself go and I didn't feel attracted. That's why I say it's really for how you feel about yourself, because I was just unhappy at that weight.
It's the same way when
but he didn't want me to lose weight. It was so crazy because
that's because he's the one that put it on you.
Yeah, he didn't want me to lose the weight. He was like, "Why you got to do it?" And I started to go to the gym. Why you going to the gym? And why you doing? I'm like, I'm trying. I don't like being this way.
Because you got to understand the difference. Because I know you probably gained a lot of weight, but I guarantee you, them breasts got bigger and that ass got fatter. And his mind, he was thinking like,
I like this.
Man, shoot, I remember how she used to look without all of that. It was nice.
But I like this now. and don't get me wrong, right? Like, I feel where you're coming from, because when your body composition change, you do feel different about yourself. And that's why I noticed, like, when I lived and I moved to Texas, I drastically gained 25 pounds. And when I hit 197, I said, no, ma'am, we not gonna do it. I ain't ever been 200. I used to be a cheerleader. I ain't ever gonna be 200. So I accept my grown woman weight, right?
Right.
Because I'm almost 30.
Grown woman weight.
I'm almost 30. that the metabolism slow down, life look a lot different. However, but I include prioritizing myself and things like, well, maybe I do need to get up and put some makeup on, or maybe I need to go shopping, or maybe I need to just go take myself out. You always have to keep your individualism, even when you're with somebody, because they cannot be the predecessor for how you feel about you.
Like, please don't lose yourself. Like, and it was so crazy.
But you know, women guilt men into losing themselves into them, though.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, what you?
So a lot of times when we talk about these relationships, right, women will guilt men into, he always with his homeboys because she done cut off all her friends to be under him. He always feeling like he got to go to work, or he making time to do other things, because essentially men know how to balance family, work, social. Women don't. Women know how to do one or two. We only know how to do family and social, or we know how to do work and social, or we know how to do work and family. We don't know how to mitigate all three. And that's why a lot of times when women in relationships, the first thing she'll say is, I lost myself.
Yep. They lose.
You don't hear men say that often, even if it could be a truth at some point of time in their lifetime, but it's not something often spoken upon, because more times often it's not you, quote unquote, losing yourself. You keep up everything else, but you may have lost control. I just feel like
women
don't lose control of situations. We lose ourselves.
Because
I would say, because I don't think men look at it as losing ourselves. For instance, me understanding a man that says, all right, well, shit, got a family now, got to put in an extra 15, 20 hours at work now. We don't see that as losing ourselves. We see that as business. It is what it is.
It's a priority.
We see, like, if we don't hang out with our homeboys for months on end, we like, hey, bro, look, when we call each other, it's a, hey, man, you know how it is, bro, man, got to take care of family. My bad out, but look, we'll probably link up sometime next month. Like, that's how because we technically don't, it's really not it's not as balanced as women try to make it to be. Like, when women try to balance it evenly amongst everybody, where she's like, okay, I'm gonna get 66% over here, 66 over there, 66. Men say our balance is we're gonna do 60% work, 35% home, and we might give 15% to our homeboys and ourselves.
You know what?
And in our eyes, that's completely balanced.
Right.
You know what?
How women see it is, right? Women always see as, I gotta give all.
They think about time. We think about time.
Well, not necessarily time.
I'm like with my friends. Like we think about like
you try to get what y'all try to do is get everybody 100% of you.
We think about duty, and that's why I say a lot of times women lose themselves, because conversations you will start hearing is, I don't remember the last time I was happy. I gained too much weight. I lost control of myself. All I do is take care of other people. But even when men are saying they take care of other people, they're not saying that they are not finding time to prioritize themselves. And women tend to not do that. We tend to make everything about other people. And then when it don't work out, we guilt everybody into feeling like they did something to us, and try to make men feel guilty for always understanding how to mitigate the balance.
When at the end of the day, a man just looking at, they think they did everything right. You know, like you said, you just look at it as, oh, if my friends hit me up, they just, hit me up this and that. It's not
as much pressure.
You're not thinking about how much time I got to spend with my homeboy, how much time I got to spend with my mom, how much time I got to spend with my wife, my kids.
Because the reality is for men, most of our life, like, think about, even if you think about it at the basic level, let's say for the sake of argument, we talk about a stay-at-home mom versus a man that works.
Mm-hmm.
Stay-at-home mom has more access to any and everybody than that man ever does. The only majority of his access is dealing with people he don't really give a damn to be around at work.
Taking away time from his family.
That's majority of his access.
He's taking away time from his family to take care of his family.
Right. A woman would have access to everybody and she would give herself to everybody. In her mind, she lost herself.
Correct.
When in reality, if you look at the opposite end and you look at a man and he like, shit, I gave my entire life to a job. And I done lost relationship. That's why when men and women when people get divorced, women tend to be more happy early on in the divorce, whereas men are unhappy because they like, damn,
I did the work.
I did all of this and I lost my family. But also he lost those connections with his family because he spent so much time at work. Whereas she has all those connections with the family.
And she don't feel as guilty about breaking up the family because she's still going to be with the family because she was always with the family.
Exactly. So, and then what happens as time goes on is that those connections with the family and things start to break down. Whereas, and then for men, they tend to find more connections and more balance.
Because he don't have to restrain himself as much and put all that pressure on himself. But it's still a inherent jealousy because a lot of times women are finding themselves going to do things that we used to find enjoyable. A lot of times women are spending more time thinking that the grass is greener. You know, they're thinking about, what I hear a lot of women say is, and they fight me tooth and nail on this, don't have kids, you can wait. And it's like, mentally, I've had the opportunity to have experiences without the repercussions. A lot of women haven't had the experiences without the repercussions. So what you're talking to me about, you're saying don't have kids, you can wait. I can enjoy and relish in the fact that I can pick correctly, I can plan
you
for a child. Like my experience look different, but a lot of them will say, I lost out on this, I lost out on that. They feel like they have lost the sense of things. And so what I will hear is a lot of women say when they leave, their kids are happier because mom is happier. Well, mom is the only person spending time with them. So essentially you're saying that the kids are reaping the benefits of your pain. So when you in the house and you not happy, you taking it out on them. And when you in the house and you is happy and you feel like you able to go do whatever you want to do, you essentially taking it out on the kids still.
Hold on, wait a minute. We're not gonna just gloss over that like that was not.
You can't.
Okay. We gotta marinate on that for a second. Okay. What she just said.
Come on now.
That a lot of the times women will feel that their kids are happier because they are happy and they're not taking out their unhappiness on their kids.
For the stay-at-home moms, right?
Or that's for mothers, period.
For just work. You said
because
they
a lot
always
of women,
be with their kids.
Regardless, right? Even if we're talking working moms.
Mm-hmm.
Working moms typically take more PTO than average people altogether. Working moms take more PTO. Working moms actually take more time off. They're not as involved in work. Whereas when we grew up, we always seen like women who were working moms work 2 jobs, they were never at home. You would have a woman in the hood with 5 kids, and when she come home, her house cleaner, she'd have been working basically 2 days straight, right?
Yeah.
You don't see that no more.
So don't.
More times now, women are very much so
you gotta clean that house up before mama come home.
With where they are with their kids, and also women are so much more involved to the point where even if they're not with the dad, they're doing things like dating and they're doing things like traveling because the working moms actually get the benefit of not having the liberty of working as much as other people due to the fact that motherhood is kind of a bias season in corporate America, regardless.
Yeah,
you know,
and that shit is dumb.
And so, essentially, when she is not happy, if she ain't got no man, who she releasing that unhappiness on?
To them damn kids,
right? And women typically spend more time with kids than men, due to the fact that men typically work on average 12 to 16 hours, women work on average 8 to 10 hours. So women are typically available to children first and frequently more than men.
Yep.
And so when she's saying she is happy, that's why I said so many women say, oh, well, I wasn't happy with my child's father. But you don't think your kids see when you not happy when you dating Earl, Sam, Derek, Jerome? They ain't got to see the men come in the house.
You know what's crazy?
They see me
even further.
You know what? They don't have to see you ever with the man.
But honestly, even back in the day, that's why so many men that was raised from single mothers are so unhappy because they saw that shit. They saw men eating out them houses.
Crazy though.
They
also recognize. Yeah. They also recognize.
Women left the house quicker than men.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why so many men damaged now.
But you know what though? The
women
flip side
too.
Of that
women are the result of all those
that's
things.
That's what I'm saying. I said
not me.
I'm talking about.
No, women are the result of unhappy women. Women today are the result of women who have dated.
But single mothers are a result of why so many men are unhappy too.
Women,
when they was raised by those type of women.
Unhappy women today are the result of single motherhood.
Yeah, men too unhappy.
Correct, both. But it shows women are more single. The study actually came out and said that women who are married without children are happier than men who are not married. Women who are not married without children are happier than men who are not married without children. So weaponizing woman's singleness is actually not a bad thing because it's showing that she's. I mean, I can't make it up.
I ain't never heard of that one. I heard single men.
Just came out.
I heard single men with a happiness out there. I ain't never heard
that. A lot of men are damaged because
one thing about me, you ain't gotta believe me. I tell it to you. You can go look up for yourself.
A lot of men.
All I speak is truth.
Are damaged because of single mothers.
I don't put all that on men. Because
no, I didn't say it was a man's fault. I'm saying a lot of men, even Kevin Samuels talked about this.
What?
A lot of men are damaged due to the fact of what
their
mothers did.
Yeah, that's true.
You talked about that.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I hear
that's
you.
The truth.
What I'm saying is it is also showing in a reflection of women, and it is showing by the fact that women own majority of the homes. Women also own majority of the evictions. Women also have more resources than men, and women also are leading in the divorce rate. So all this damage, women typically are in a community with women. Women, you know who was telling women, if you don't give it to them, somebody else will. That wasn't coming from a man, that was coming from women.
A woman.
So when you say men are damaged as a result of women, typically men will find themselves around other men. Women will always find ourselves in a community of women. It is inherent. So when you say men are damaged from women, I can also tell you women are damaged from women.
But I know that. No, I just had to put it. I know it's for women too, but I just had to put it in there that a lot of men that we deal with today,
agreed.
They are damaged due to what they saw their mama did. Due to Tyrone, they done had 50,000 stepdaddies.
Never having a strong masculine figure.
You know what I'm saying? They never had those figures. They're coming from when my mom passed, how, like you said, men don't have resources. My daddy didn't have resources as if my daddy died and my mama's lived. She would have had way more resources.
But it also shows that men typically...
My daddy had to work 10 times harder because my mom passed. It also shows to take care of us.
Men typically stay near around their community more than women. Women typically branch out.
If it weren't for auntie, grandma, and this, that, my daddy would have cracked trying to take care of us after my mom passed. So men don't have those resources to take care of a household. And it's sad. It's fucking sad.
I mean, but essentially it's like bad all the way around. Like it ain't no pat on the back for nobody, because even when we're talking about this, right, you talk about the give and take dynamic between a relationship and you breaking it down. And what I'm saying is we focus so much on who happy, who this, who that, and at the basis of it, society has told us happy wife, happy life. Don't disrespect your mama.
Ever told.
Don't disrespect your mama. But at the basis of it, women are essentially saying my emotions are going to be the determination for whether this family succeed or fail.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Fuck that.
I'm gonna tell you this though. A lot of the times they don't even have to be a man involved for their kids to recognize their mom is unhappy.
Correct.
A lot of the times it could be the lack thereof of a man.
Correct.
And a lot of times it could be the lack thereof of somebody being in the house with her that can help her out.
Correct.
And the kids recognize that as well. So
And that's why a lot of kids struggle when they see their mama, quote unquote, going for anything or devaluing themselves. You have a lot of kids that resent their mama because they'll see her deal with a man who less than. They'll see her walk around and deal with a man who dealing with other women. And that's when you were saying, mommy, like men see their moms deal with multiple men and they devalue themselves. And men see their moms deal with no man and be bitter. And then they still have a lesser respect. But because men are taught, men are brought up to always respect women regardless, no matter what. They don't see the ramifications, but women, for instance, will say, that's my daddy, but fuck that nigga.
Yep, and I don't like that. I don't like
that. But even
shit.
when it comes to men, and they'll say, that's my mama, she raised me, my granny raised me, you will have other people, not just women, tell him, that's still your mama. You only get one.
That ain't right.
In our community, they put the woman on a pedestal in our community.
But you know, that's what I didn't understand. Even with the Tupac, dear
no,
mama.
other races don't do it like
they
we
do. Put women on a pedestal.
Not like we do. The black race does the worst.
When you look even into the Asian community, the grandmother is valued and respected more. The grandfather still gets the money and he makes the decisions. In other cultures throughout the world, the grandmother rests.
In other cultures throughout the world, the man is strict leader. The man is strict leader. In the black community, in the black families in America, we put the man in the mud and we put black women as she's mother God. She does no wrong. I hear what you're saying.
What she's saying is
women are propped up on a pedestal in
all cultures. Not in other countries.
Even in other countries, women are pedestalized. Whereas the men are seen as though you're right. They are given the responsibility of leading, providing, and everything else. But when you talk about, but they're also the ones that take the bulk of the blame. They're also the ones that take the bulk of the responsibility when shit goes wrong.
Like,
because you gotta think about it, men die because of women.
Well, if you look into one of the biggest infatuations that Black America has, period, is the mob culture, right? If you look into the mob culture, if a child overtalk their mama, the daddy will hit the child. Mm-hmm. The women are put on a pedestal. If you look at how Italian men deal with their women, they pedestalize them. They love their women. They buy them whatever they want. If the women make a demand, they go and do whatever they want, even kill for them. However, the men are still making all the decisions and the women are put up in the house. Sicilian people behave this way. Italians behave this way, right? And we don't think about these things like that because we're so introspectively in the Black community.
We don't behave that way.
Yes, we do. We literally...
The man in the most Black households is not the decision maker.
I
would say the woman is. I would say the woman is.
No. You saying household. That means that you're placing a Black man in the household.
Jews are the only people that I know for sure that they put their how they are.
No, it's not just Jews. Even in Dubai. Not just Jews, but even in Dubai
too.
If a woman, that's Muslim community, if a woman says, I want a car that is this year, this make, this model, he don't get to give her an excuse of why he can't do it because he chose her. However, the ramifications for being a whore is different too. They will stone you. You will be in prison. You yell at a man over there, you're going to go to jail. So it's like the ramifications are different. But I will also tell you this. I don't know anybody who grew up in the Black community with a man in the house where Big Mama word overrided granddaddy's. It was never a thing until he died. Big Mama did whatever granddaddy say do. And a lot of times granddaddy was older than Big Mama.
You had a granddaddy. You speaking of kids like they all have granddaddies.
Everybody didn't have everything that I had, but we seen it. So even if you didn't see it, you can't say it never happened. I'm sure you know people who had that experience.
Have you saw
I have seen Black men who have, even pastors in the church, a lot of Black people had Black men in the community, and this is why I hate when we talk about it, because people try to pretend that wholesome, upstanding Black men were not around. They always want to result down to the Pookies and the Ray Rays and this, that, and the third. I have seen Black men take leadership. I have seen Black men be dominant. I have seen Black men... I didn't say everybody was.
Every Black man want a Rolling Stone, though. Every Black man want a Rolling Stone.
They wasn't, but if you look at...
regardless if he was a Rolling Stone, I know Rolling Stones.
They were respectful. They was well respected.
No, my granddaddy was what you would consider a Rolling Stone, but when he came in his house, it was his rules. Didn't nobody override that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Even
but what
grandma,
I'm saying,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
what I'm saying is,
I don't like denoting black men down
man,
to these fickle individuals and these docile individuals, because you guys are not that, and we have to stop perpetuating that as if that is a thing. Because when men are in the house, dominance automatically follows.
It's
I don't
the
know a
generation.
man that's living in the house.
It's the generation.
And paying bills, and that's why I always challenge women when they say, you let a man come in the house with you, and you calling this man a pookie and a ray, and you saying he possibly possibly a felon. If I know anything about felons, they some of the cleanest people you know. The state will punish them and get them more time if they don't clean up their living quarters. So all of these stereotypes, we got to stop laying these things on black men.
You speaking as if you grew up with a bunch. Can I get a word in?
I know.
You speaking as if you grew up with a bunch of strong men around you.
I did.
I grew up with a bunch of fatherless households. I knew a bunch of people who didn't have daddies. That's what I'm trying. I've been trying to say this for the past 5 minutes.
But I had the same thing. I had a bunch of people around me who didn't have daddies, but I also had a community full of bunch of strong men who were decision makers.
Well, that was you. I'm telling you, a lot of households are single mother, especially amongst the black community. We are the most single mother household on the planet.
But what I'm saying is, you're talking household, and I'm also telling you that men were around.
They're around, but they ain't doing what they're supposed to do sometimes. You got some black households where there's a man and woman raising kids. You got a lot of black households in America where they're single mothers. We can't argue that and say, "Oh, that's the truth."
I'm not arguing
that's the
that.
truth. You act like it doesn't exist. I'm trying to tell you, I seen it. I'm a product of a single mother. My mother fucked me and all my brothers and sisters up. My cousins, I got other homies I grew up with. Growing up in high school, I had one close friend who was a black kid who literally grew up with his mom and daddy. I was shocked. When I met him, I was like, "Damn, your mom and dad both in the household."
I'm sorry that happened to you, but what I'm telling you is my best friend has a mom who has 3 other kids aside from her. All of those kids have a different dad. She has 3 siblings in-house, and every single last one of them have a different dad. I grew up with a dad. I also seen her mom with a man. I also seen her mom deal with men who would help and aid her. So what I'm saying is, although her household comprised of no man, and she grew up as a single parent household,
that's one good example.
That's not one good example. You cannot minimize or outline my experience because you don't agree.
That's
not an extreme.
It was 4 of us, and we all 4 had different dads. You saying
that's not an extreme?
I know 5 people who had 5 different daddies. Their mama was a hoe.
So it's a common thing.
It is what it is. I mean,
so it's a common thing.
But all I'm gonna say, I understand where you're coming from.
It's duality. Because
I saw it, and the fact is, in the community, what we see is, like we said, it's the same man fucking the different women that having different kids. What? You got a Pookie got 5 different baby daddies. You got 5 different baby mamas.
She's saying a fact.
You got a lot of men.
But that's not my point.
I promise you, I can tell you right now. I don't know what statistic they might not even be in the system.
It's the truth.
But you got most men, just like we always say, women be fooling around with the same type of man. Yeah. That's why a lot of men probably still virgins. You got a lot of men that probably ain't never had no pussy, because you got Keisha, Tawanda, Shaniqua fucking the same man.
There are a lot of men.
You understand what I'm saying?
In the hood.
Let me say something.
Do you understand
I'm gonna put it like this. You got a lot of Pookie and Ray Rays not fighting for no kid that they had a one night stand with. Half of the time, most of these mamas and single mothers were one night stand. These men ain't fighting for them kids. They ain't fighting to be in the house with these women. They never was with them women. Half of them women was was a single mother from the start. They weren't in a relationship with these men. They fucking just to be fucking.
A lot of the men are having all the children, is what she's saying. Which that is a fact. That is a fact. There's a nice guy who might have 1 kid, but there's a bad boy who got 12 kids. That is fact.
They don't even know they sister and brother. They fucking each other.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
Especially in ghetto neighborhoods, she's telling the fact.
That's not what I'm saying.
What she's saying is the truth.
But she's not talking about what I'm talking about.
What Paris is alluding to is the fact that while it may be true,
correct,
there are a lot of
it may be, but it's just the truth. That's what people sitting in. Therefore, sitting in that shit.
Wait. What she's saying is while it may be true that there are a lot of single mother households popping up, and there's a lot of situations where you have absent men in these households. What she's saying is that oftentimes when in the presence of a man, So there's a lot of instances where we've seen these single mothers, the moment a man comes in that house, a whole lot of shit changes
It's
in
a
that
lot
house.
Straighten it up. It's a lot of times
I don't know what y'all talking about this point.
It's a lot of times kids get a stepdaddy and then they say, I respect that man more than I respect my own daddy.
That's because he was there.
That's
what we were talking about the whole time. Oh shit!
She's talking about the presence of a man in the household.
Jesus. That's what we were talking about the whole time.
That's why she kept saying. That's why she kept saying when a man is present.
Yeah.
Regardless, like a lot of the time.
You know what we talked about? Well, my dad took care of 3. When my stepmama came in the picture, she came but she came with 3 daughters.
Why I say y'all need to change y'all thinking.
And my daddy stepped up. My dad was a good motherfucking stepdad.
I wouldn't say that. You can think how you think. You can think how you want to think.
Too bad about
black
no.
I ain't know that y'all was talking about this.
It's
my daddy.
You can think how you want to think.
The problem is that when it comes to black men and black women, when we actually approach situations in good faith, and oftentimes when women bring men into their house, they straighten up. They straighten up because they're approaching it in good faith.
Even when that man not contributing to the household, he there.
However, what happens is
you would have women who would tell their kids, he ain't your daddy, but since he in this house, you don't talk back to him. And even if that man sitting there laying on her couch eating her food ain't contributing at all, she will still hold her kids to that standard because the dominance of a man can't be overshadowed. Even if you guys think less of certain men and say, oh, they pookas and ray-rays because they got 5, 6 different kids, et cetera, et cetera. I have seen way too many times where a man has walked into a woman's house, whether she has children by him or not, and it was a whole lot of straightening going on.
You want to know where the problem often conflicts? And this is the scenario that we often see. It only becomes volatile when the boy was the man in the household. Once he's already 15, 16,
that's when it becomes problematic.
That's when you normally see, I'm going to beat your ass around here.
That's why sometimes when I listen to Dear Mama with Tupac, he was older. When you have these older, like teenagers, like you said, 16, 17, they get to feel like they the man of the house.
But that's why I was telling you when you saying it's a lot of men who are damaged by their moms, and I was trying to integrate women because when we have situations like that with stepdads, what you see more often is women leave the nest. Women don't stay around because they are damaged by their mothers, and women are leaving more than men. But it is inherent for men to stay around to protect their mothers or protect women near them. That is inherent.
But the reason why I brought up damage is because
you're not wrong.
But I'm just saying the reason why I brought up so many men damaged because we are seeing these damaged men.
Oh, correct. We see these damaged women too.
We seeing these damaged men.
We seeing everybody
I'm talking about
damaged.
what we're dating. I'm talking about
everybody's damaged.
No, everybody's damaged. I'm saying in the dating pool now, a lot of women are dealing with damaged men.
And a lot of women are dealing with other damaged women.
I know. I don't want to talk about. Yeah, I don't want to talk about.
We are friends with those women.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a whole nother thing. Hold on, please. All I'm saying is, the reason why I brought up damaged men because we were talking about women too, but I just want to bring up just that part. We know damaged women are like that because I have friends that like that too, like you said. But what I'm saying is we are dealing with a lot of men who are damaged because they came from a single mom household where they feel like they gotta pay their mama bills. They can't even take care of the household because they don't want to leave their mama behind. They gotta take care of mama. You got a lot of men
the son
out
husbands
there that don't know how to manage those things because they feel like it's their mama.
Guilt.
It's a guilt trip.
Mama 3, slow down.
Your son husbands.
I already know where that's coming from.
They never had.
That's not most men.
They never had a
most men do not operate that way.
No, I know.
Even if we're talking about men who come from single moms.
In a dating pool, it's a lot of men out there.
A lot of men take care of the women that's around them. That's a natural.
That's a natural
thing.
It's a natural thing. And that's basically
and
what
their
I was
moms
saying.
tend to be simply the women that are around them. So what happens is that, and you remember what I told you last time? I said if the problem wasn't the fact that he was taking care of mom and the woman. The problem came in was when shit hit the fan. Who did he prioritize?
Yep.
Correct.
And he didn't prioritize his wife and kids. He prioritized his mother.
Mom.
But if all is well, men are gonna always, especially if their father is not there for their mom,
it falls
on us as a man.
So how do you feel? Like, honestly, like, because this is a part of a lot of people say it's like a generational curse where when the mom don't find a man and the mom just end up being single.
But see, that's why I say like,
in that scenario, oftentimes,
how do a man feel?
In that scenario, oftentimes what happens is moms tend to manipulate their sons into prioritizing them.
They do.
That's where the problem comes in. Because there's nothing wrong with a man looking after his mother.
Mom,
because that is our natural job.
And that's what I'm saying.
Even made me cry.
Even if you look at it from a human perspective, it is the kid's job at some point to take care of their parents.
But that's what I was saying back in the Asian communities when you were saying how like, oh, well, we automatically give credence to the women. Even in the Asian community, what happens is all the kids get in one house together. The elders, if the dad is still living,
he stay with them.
The mom is still living, she stay with them. The wife, she leave her family, she go move in with the man. And the man have kids with her, and all their kids work, and the man and the woman work, and then the man go to his dad and make decisions. The dad is the head, but they all cater to mom. Mom rests. It's the same way in their community. We do it in the Black community. We just do it differently. Because everybody know you don't fuck with Big Mama. Everybody know whatever she need, you go do it. Big Mama to help raise some of these kids when the other sister wasn't around. And we naturally do it. You can see men stick around their mom.
But also here's the difference. This is the problem where it comes into play. As if I'm, say for instance, if I'm a mother, right? And my husband dies or my husband leaves me, I'm, as the mother of my son, is supposed to find a way to fit my life into his life comfortably. I'm not supposed to come in and discombobulate what he has going on and make him prioritize me. I'm supposed to come in and fit in to his life.
Like a puzzle piece.
This should be a conversation people should have in the beginning of a relationship. But that's the problem that we often have what happens is that the mother tries to make herself a priority rather than fitting herself. And it's the same thing like I told my mom.
Because he has to leave the nest, but it doesn't mean that she is still not over his hierarchy if the man is not there. Like the issue that we have though is mama don't have a relationship with dad, and dad probably is dead, or dad probably was just never around for umpteen years, and the responsibility has always been the son's. And so she naturally thinks I should still be priority, and she starts manipulating.
And what happens is like, because I even told my mom,
a lot of men be stressed out about that though. A lot of men be stressed out. They don't like that.
And we're only stressed.
But they don't say nothing about it because they naturally respect their mama.
When her being in our lives becomes a direct conflict.
That's why I have to respect Sweeney. Because anytime I talk to Sweeney, he knows that I'm not his wife, and I know that I'm not his wife. But I also know that he's not treating me like he's so respectful. He's not treating me like she just walking around with another vagina.
Right. I'm telling you, and that's why I say it's really about how it's just like how a woman carry themselves. It's really about how men carry themselves or how we treat you. And it is so true. Like when you see a man, you know how to act around them. It's just.
And I also say like, while everybody's sitting up here hollering traditional, and they want that, how you know it's some men who didn't see traditional and they don't like that. It's some men who experienced that too.
Because I had this conversation with
Trevor. Wow.
I got a friend of mine who grew up in a 2-parent household, him and his brother, no outside kids, no nothing. And he said he'll never get married. It's not for him. He'll never, and he got a, baby out of wedlock. And he like, that's what my life gonna be. But he grew up in a 2-parent household and he don't want it.
You know, that's why I was saying it's like a lot of kids.
His parents are still married.
That's what I said, but no telling what he saw. Like no telling what he.
No, it's not that. He's not traumatized or nothing. He had a great adulthood, a great childhood.
A lot of us
freedom
look at the things that our parents do, and we simply do not want to do.
We don't want to do it, and everybody always trying to fall back to trauma or something.
My dad works 70 hours a week.
They don't do that.
I don't want to do that shit.
And you see it now in our generation, like this generation has no work ethic.
They don't want to work.
We will quit a job, but our parents, they stayed at one job for years. And everybody trying to define it back to drama or what they see or trauma. No, it's not that. People have autonomy. We have decisions now. So the same way there are a lot of men going, I don't want no woman who don't listen to me. You got some men going, I want a woman who gonna help me make decisions.
Right.
Because now they have the choice to say that. Like now they saying,
you think a lot of men are saying that though?
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm around
yes.
That's what I'm telling you. You gotta realize I'm an influencer.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm a real influencer. I got
tell
24,000 followers on Twitter. I have 60,000 followers on Instagram.
Right
I have 130,000 followers on IG, on TikTok.
I'm gonna say something bold, and I know none of y'all gonna agree.
I know what they're
saying.
Say
anyway, you're describing simp niggas. If a nigga says I want a woman to help me make decisions, you're describing a weak man who's probably a simp.
Why you don't want a woman to help you?
Why would a man think he needs a woman to help him? I need.
It's never been a thing.
But you want her to cook your food, so you gonna.
That's you playing your role. Me telling.
you gonna eat from.
Did you hear what she just? Did you hear what she just said?
I'm just saying you gonna eat from a woman like that.
I need a woman to help me make decisions. Listen to what I'm saying. I need a woman to help me make decisions.
What kind of decisions you think
I'm a man. I don't need your help to make decisions.
What kind of decisions you think?
That's some simp shit.
What kind of decisions?
Well, the thing is, what you're saying.
We just got some extremely different views.
So you're not talking about
I respect what you're saying, but what I'm saying is you're saying that as a derivative, as if those men give a fuck about your respect, and they don't.
It don't matter if they do. I'm
telling
you that simp stuff. I'm telling you that simp stuff. I understand
your point of view. It may not work for you.
So what would you want a woman to say to you?
I think what you're taking away from it. And I know Paris said
you ain't thinking what I'm telling you.
I know what Paris said.
I think
as far
decision make him trigger.
The decision making aspect.
It's a trigger to
me. It ain't about no trigger, no decision. I heard every word she said.
I know. I think what she's alluding to is that there are a lot of men that don't have a problem saying, man, I ain't got to do it all no more.
Correct.
Right.
That's not what she said. You're saying something different than what she just said.
What I'm saying
you're rewording and trying to make it sound sweeter. That's not what she said.
Look at her. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, whatever.
And the reality is,
hey man, y'all win, man.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm the crazy alpha red pill dude. Y'all win, man.
No, listen.
I can tell I got quiet. If y'all notice, I done zoned out because like I'm trying to say shit to y'all, but like my opinion is like radical to y'all. Like it's radical. Everything I say is like. I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done yelling. It's kind of.
No. Look,
can't nobody take a break.
You are right.
You stand on your shit.
But what I'm saying is that when you look at the majority of men, that's why she said you see a lot of men.
Majority of men want to be strong, masculine, dominant leaders. They don't want women helping them make decisions. They don't need a woman to bring money to the table. Why do you cut me off?
No, I'm just saying.
Go ahead. I'm done. No. Y'all keep cutting me off.
Talking about like explain decisions. What do you don't want a woman to like? What you don't want a woman to like? Have no type of say so in.
When I say decisions, you take it to that like I want that bitch to shut up and sit down, bitch. No, you can't help. That's not what I'm saying. If you want the kid to go to this school or this school, bitch, I don't care. Pay for the school, send the kid to the school.
Okay.
Yeah, little shit like that, I don't care about. I'm talking about when it comes to money making decisions. If a woman helps a man make money making decisions, she's going to lose respect for that nigga, most likely. Why women are always like, why do I need you if I've got to do shit myself? If I can do 50-50, nigga, I can go alone and get somebody else. Y'all keep saying, I'd rather have a 50-50 dude. Like I'm telling you, but if you had the choice, you don't want to go 50-50 with a nigga. I hate women say, I'll go 50-50 with a nigga. Nah, man, that's not real. You would. I done talked to so many women who told me, if I got to go 50-50, I'd rather be alone.
But how much money you think what's the percentage of men just making just buku?
I know niggas ain't out there winning like that.
That's what I'm saying. Half of these men are average men.
Women don't want average no more. Women don't want average no more.
What's the average pay for a man?
Listen to me. Women don't want average men no more.
So it's a diamond dog. You can come across a man.
Women don't want average men no more.
I got a question for that. Hold on, wait. So what is men supposed to do with that?
Do with what?
Do with that information. If most of these women don't want average men no more, what are
you got two choices. You either level up to get the bitch you want, or you shut up and sit down.
So I got a question. When you saying like, you need a woman to help you make financial decisions.
No decisions.
Wait. I'm just rephrasing it. You don't need a woman to help you make no decisions, especially financial, because she gonna lose respect for you.
And she gonna have too much authority. When you give women money in the relationship, they gain authority. Money is power. We all know that.
I'm gonna ask you a question, right? So when you say this, right, and we go back to, let's just say the 60s. In the 60s, black women and black men were working. Typically what would happen is the black man would come home and give the woman his entire paycheck, and she would disperse the
Those
money.
women were built so much.
Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. I want to ask a question. I ain't even asked the question. I know you riled up. I just want to hear your point of view. So if the idea today is women really don't want to go 50-50 inherently, okay, and women back then, they were actually
mindset was different.
They were getting the entire paycheck from this same community who are now our grandmothers, and some of them our mothers because they was part of the boomers, the baby boomers. If they had the same mentality, they was getting the entire paycheck and they were paying the bills, and the man was only keeping enough money to help him go to the next week. He was
taking care of his family.
That's not my question.
What is
my question is, why you feel like she didn't have dominance or authority then?
Because they were different women back then. Those women were sweet, submissive women back then. Back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, women were different back then. Y'all all know, everybody sitting here knows women were different in the 60s. Like, are we really arguing that?
Okay, we can.
Are we really arguing that?
So what you're saying is...
Are we really arguing that? No. Are we really arguing women?
We're not.
Would you say that your mouth the women were different in the 60s?
No, what you're saying is, I'm not disagreeing with you, but what
you're saying... But are you agreeing with me?
Wait.
I hate when y'all say that. This is are you agreeing? Are you agreeing?
They were.
All y'all disagree with me all night long. Are you agreeing with me?
What you are saying is that a man is okay with sharing decision making with a woman.
He wasn't sharing no decisions. He went to work, made
and he gave her the check. He gave her the check.
And she paid the bills.
She was a decision maker.
He probably told her to do it. I work all day, all night, here the money, go pay the bills. What are y'all talking about?
Boy, shake that ass. Shake that laugh taffy. That laughing taffy.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why the mindset wasn't different.
It was different. It was the 60s.
Wait a minute.
Women were...
Wait.
We got to work twice as hard to get half the woman nowadays. That's a joke everybody says nowadays because it's true. Our granddaddies got way more women for way less back then. Nigga got to make $150 grand a year to get half, to buy a bad bitch, and she still barely want to listen.
You still want a bad bitch, like I said.
Please don't.
That's about looks.
Don't deter me from what
don't
I'm
nobody want no ugly woman.
This is what I'm finna say, right?
You don't want a short, broke man.
You saying that back then, the mentality of the women was different.
We all know that.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you why I know that not to be true.
You crazy, bro. Ain't nothing you can tell me. You crazy.
Well, I'm finna...
You're crazy. The women in the 60s were different than women in the 20s. 2020s, how are we even discussing this? This isn't even a topic of discussion. Women from the 1960s and women from 2020? Are you for real?
Yeah.
You out of your mind, man.
But you ain't even let me say it.
You ain't even got the basic of the foundation down. There's nothing to talk about. The basic is gone.
I was going to tell you how the women were different. Actually, back then, it was easier for women to harm their husbands and get away with it. Nowadays, you can do that. They used to poison them. Women were very abusive then. Where you think hitting them upside the head with the skillet came from? Or when you talk about the women who couldn't go anywhere, they was burned down, laden with children and stuff like that. They used to tell their daughters, and they told us, don't get burned down with no man, don't have no kids. If you get pregnant, you're going to be shamed. They used to tell us this stuff.
They got away with murder.
And that's why I'm saying, like, y'all keep trying to make it seem as if those women were so different. Wait a minute. Before you get me off topic, let me make this point.
So do you think it was bad for them? Do you think it was bad for them?
Wait a minute. Let me get this point out.
Do you think families are better in the 60s?
I ain't talking about families. I'm talking about the woman. The woman.
You think they're better off now?
Give me 1 second. Because you keep trying to pose this about the woman, and I'm keep telling you, like, the woman
what is it about?
Give me 1 second. The woman then, those women will have 1 or 2 kids walking around the house looking like nobody in the house. And they still expect that man to go take care of him.
You think all of them were bad? You
they
think
were
all
fucking a milkman.
They ain't bad. I'm saying is,
they had babies with the milkman.
With relationships, you gotta
they had babies with the milkman.
All I'm saying is you giving credence to a lot of women that ain't what you think they was.
They was fucking the milkman. It wasn't even their kids.
I'm tell you this way.
Fucking the milkman.
About how Papa was a Rolling Stone. Right? You had a family on the other side of town.
Bro, everybody wasn't like that in the 60s.
Wait. Let me finish. The marriage rate was 80% of the...
Get your ass on that mic. Get your ass. You ain't giving no glass.
God damn.
I got into this shit.
The marriage rate at that period of time was 80%.
It was high. It was very high. Everybody got married.
Who was a Rolling Stone with?
What do you mean?
No. Who do you think he
was not married?
Who do you think he was a Rolling Stone with when he had a family on the other side of town? And who do you think was taking care of the family on the other side of town? Another man. These women, that's why just as much as you heard, that's the reason why just as much as you heard about Papa was a Rolling Stone, you heard about how Mama was dealing with the milkman and how the kids that didn't share bloodlines wasn't only because Papa was going and fucking somebody on the other side of town.
It was because Mama had a baby in the house that he was looking at. He knew that baby didn't look like him, but he couldn't say nothing about it.
Out of 100 families, all of them wasn't doing that.
Majority, I'm telling you, first of all, majority of people back then were faithful.
Okay,
majority. But when we're talking about unfaithful,
there's always been cheaters throughout the 60s, right? 70s, 80s to today.
When we talk about the cheaters, though, it's often the burden of cheating is often put on the men at the time. The reality is women were cheating just as often as the men were.
And you got to bring up the fact that everything now that we have as a call to action, such as like domestic violence, abuse hotline, and stuff like that was adapted because of white women. It had nothing to do with black women. Even down the workforce, which I know you guys know that. But the reason why abuse was so prevalent with white women is because they was able to get beat and women were seen as men's property. So a lot of that stuff we talk about, it wasn't reported. But the only way a woman could have sex and it not be seen as something vile or vigilant is if she was married. And all them women ended up with multiple husbands because they was fucking. Not to mention,
I wouldn't say all of them. It wasn't all of them. It wasn't all of them.
Get to talking about submissive women. Man, them women was whores.
They were.
They was whores.
Hey, stop.
Why do you think everybody ran away from the church?
Check it out. I'm agree with y'all. The 60s, everybody was sluts and whores and Rolling Stones. Wasn't no good families in the 60s. Shit wasn't good in the 60s. It wasn't no masculine men leading families in the 60s.
Nobody said that.
They was all cheating with the milkmans and cheating on the other side of town.
No,
I'm going to agree with you niggas. There it is.
All I'm saying is I
can't make a point. Every point I make, y'all got to rebuttal. But I ain't rebuttal. Y'all just like,
he just
crazy. Like,
we family. We are
it's three people jumping on one. I'm like, damn. Like, y'all make me feel like I'm fucking crazy.
Me and Perry debated it. It's just
I know the shit I'm saying is right, but y'all make it seem like it's crazy.
I will say this though. Black men have never had the ideology of we were completely over our women. Because we've never had that position.
Not in America.
Never had the luxury of a white man.
All the way through our entire existence, we've always been in the same position our women have been in.
Correct.
We've always been either we were slaves together, then we worked together.
Bring that shit back.
It wasn't until recently.
We worked too.
It wasn't until recently where men, and this is where the problem, this is where women are to blame, is when they came and gave women the deal on we can do this for you.
When that white man gave that black woman that deal,
women took the deal under the ideology of feminism. I can do bad without you. I can go without you. I don't need you. And they took that and ran with it. That's why we have the problem that we have today.
But
that's how you can go from an 80% marriage rate.
The white man gave us the white women too.
You know what's crazy?
They made that movement.
The thing is,
the house was systematically taken apart.
It did come from the white man. That's why I say women are very gullible. Women merge with other women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta realize.
White women, when they did that shit.
Y'all gotta realize, right? I always say, me personally, I say white women are the worst thing that ever happened to anybody. And I say that because what we don't realize is there were laws put in place where if a black woman refused to work, she can go to jail. White women helped that. White women were the ones who did it. White women actually have voted over 40% in this country up until the year Joe Biden got elected. Black women were the demographic to overtake them. But ever since then, even down to the crime bill, black women voted for the crime bill. We are a direct response to a lot of these things because we were the ones who were going to get the highest education. And that's been a derivative of us for a longer period of time. So what I'm saying is we give a lot of credence to trying to make it seem like grandma was such this good upstanding woman and she wasn't cheating and she wasn't fucking granddaddy over and she wasn't stealing this money doing X, Y, and Z.
I ain't saying that.
I'm saying this, right? We give a lot of times we have this mentality that they not doing nothing. But I'm telling you a person who put it into perspective. Two people. Oprah Winfrey with The Color Purple and Tyler Perry with the Diary of a Mad Black Woman. They show you the thought process of older Black women. They show you women don't mind stepping out. They show you women don't mind taking over dominance. They show you that. So when y'all saying as if women today are just so bad as compared to them, all I'm saying is it's just a hyper extreme. Because again, women get in proximity to women and women talk to women. It was our grandmothers and our mothers telling us to stay away from y'all. It wasn't y'all.
So you saying your grandmother and grandmother made women what they are today?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I'm telling you, the only generation that understood the assignment was the silent generation. You go beyond them, as soon as you hit baby boomers, the baby boomers is arguably the most.
So women have poisoned women.
It's just a lot of Black men don't understand.
The baby boomers,
they don't want y'all to get ahead.
Fucked us up.
They don't want the Black men to get ahead.
Well, I know that.
The white man would give a Black woman the book on how to get ahead before the Black man.
I just said that yesterday. I said they're putting gay men and Black women in positions they never.
Transgender got more authority than a Black woman.
Now, picture walking in my shoes every day in America. They don't want me to be someone because they like he's too strong, black and masculine. We can't tame him. We can't control him. No, you can't. That's true. But they'll put gay guys and Black women. Oh man, you just said something. I was just arguing
about yesterday. They would do anything to keep y'all
They put gay men and Black
them.
women. I see so many Black women nowadays getting ahead, which also makes them look at Black men differently because they're making more money.
But the thing is, y'all attack the Black woman, but y'all act like y'all too scared to attack the white man. That's
so we can go back to more mass incarceration can rise.
Wait.
Not attack.
I ain't saying attacking a bad way. I'm talking about the system.
I'm gonna agree with that because the system was not made for them.
Let me get finished. Let me get please just let me finish this statement. That's why when they came in and gave those women those vouchers back in the day, when they, you know how they say that the white man gave them these Section 8 and the government, the food stamps and this and that. That's why I feel like a lot of women today, even if they are single mothers, to get out of the system.
What?
Well, that's not Black men's fault.
No,
Black men can't fight that.
I'm not saying. Listen to me. Let me get it all the way out.
Go ahead.
The reason why I said that the white man would rather give the Black woman the book before a Black man is because they know what y'all capable. Yeah, they know what y'all capable of.
I can't.
That's why I feel like women. Well, men too should teach their sons to stop multiplying like this, having one night stands, to value themselves more. A lot of Black men do not value themselves more because when they grow up, they feel like even single mothers, and there's videos of it where they try to make their son touch ass, touch titties.
Let me say something.
To sexualize, they high.
Well,
they sexualize these young boys.
I personally don't think that that's a correlation. I will say that when you guys try to make it seem like Black women just don't rock with y'all like that, I have to push back on that because we still hold on. Wait a minute. It's still women out there like me and Mommy 3 who if I see you in a situation, I'm coming to your aid. I don't care if a Karen talking to you crazy and I don't know you from a can of paint.
I got your back.
I don't care if I see you in an altercation with the police. I promise you on my watch we finna get something done. But no, it's not different.
It's the same.
Because the thing is, there are some Black women, that really do behave like they'll turn their back on you and spit on you. I'm not that woman. So when y'all speak like this in mass and you try to make it seem like Black women just don't care, she the one that got her education, she forgot about the Black man. Let me just make it very clear. You didn't say this. Listen. I'm not putting words in nobody's mouth. This is what I'm saying.
I don't even know how we go.
So what I'm saying is the disdain or the inherent misogyny against us is really misplaced because a lot of us ain't left, y'all. A lot of us still putting money on your books. A lot of us still riding with you, whether right or wrong, broke or not. A lot of us still sitting there trying to make relationships work with you when we got kids with you, when we ain't. And a lot of us are still marrying you. Black women are the most loyal race of any other woman.
They have to be.
They don't want to believe
that.
They have to be.
No, we don't.
They're the least chosen.
No, we don't.
They're the least chosen. It's proven.
That's why it's a lot of women out here right now will use your ass.
Black women are the least picked demographic of all 5 races by all the men.
They don't even see us.
You're only talking America.
They don't even see us.
No, I'm talking about all the races.
No, you're not talking about
White,
in the world.
Asian, Middle Eastern.
You're talking about America data only.
Those men don't pick black women.
The only problem with what you're saying,
Colombia has black women. Brazil has black women. Africa got black women. England got black women. All of them places got black women.
I would say this: we're extrapolating the American problem into the world.
We are.
And the thing is, that's why I try to keep it American. He's technically right when you're talking about
America.
The reality is because majority of black American women don't have access to the world. Just like majority of black American men really don't have access to the world. But I will say
over 79% of people never leave their community.
I will say this though. I wouldn't say that it's misplaced misogyny.
Or 73, something like that.
More so than I would say, because I would say that the misogyny that black women face is also the misogyny the misandry that black men face.
I agree.
Whereas we have a loud minority.
Correct.
Speaking for the entire group.
And you shouldn't have.
I wanted to say something when you said
speaking.
that.
Yeah.
Again, you
that's why I take people like me. You never had a conversation.
I was gonna say it when I had my hand down, but then she took over and I lost myself.
Speak.
All the kids are being had by a small amount of dudes. You keep saying that. It's been proven in studies. There will be Negroes out here who will have 4, 5, 12 kids and be a loser. But he fucking and he fucking multiple girls, got all these kids, and I actually know some of those guys. And then the good guys, I have an uncle who's a doctor. He has no desire to have children. So you got average men and losers out here fucking having all these kids, and you got doctors who don't want to have kids, or they get married and have 2. So when you say a bunch of kids are being raised by single mothers, those women are picking all, like you said earlier, they're fucking the same guys. Like, so when we talk about single mothers, you have to take into consideration the man these women are laying down with. If you lay down with an engineer, doctor, lawyer, somebody have kids with him, his ass is going to be punished by the law. And you will forever be taken care of.
And I will say
if you're struggling, they pick the wrong man.
I will say this: that is the difference as far as the
misandry
versus misogyny.
I agree.
Is that when men talk about the experiences we have with women, we're
shamed.
We know. Hold on, wait. We know that we're dealing with all women.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
We know that without a shot, because we shoot our shot at whoever we can. We're gonna shoot our shot. We don't shoot it outside. We shoot outside our range. We shoot below our range. We shoot in the range. We deal with women. Oftentimes, when we hear the misplaced misandry that black women have,
they have dealt with little to no men.
They deal to little to no men.
That makes sense.
And that's the reason why it's like. That's why I kind of say that a lot of the misogyny that black women face
is misplaced.
One, it's not really misogyny, it's how we experience black women, but also it's like we deal with y'all. We've seen our moms. Not only do we see our moms, but then we have to go out into the world and
because when y'all try to date, y'all cast the net. Whoever take it, that's the bait.
Exactly.
When we go and try to date,
y'all pick them.
And that's not
they
to
don't
say.
even cast a net.
Wait.
They don't. With a hook.
Correct.
Like, hey.
But still, it's the representative of what y'all
show. Not only that, but they wouldn't stick. They don't stick their hook in the water.
Right? Let me be clear, because the connotation comes off as if women can't be rejected, and we do. Please don't get that mistaken. It's a whole show called Snap that's been on way too long about women getting rejected.
We get rejected.
But I will say, right, and I'm gonna give credence to this. When y'all deal with us, typically we are influencing each other's decisions, and that's why you can't, quote unquote, today you can't really judge a woman off her clothes.
Sure,
because
shit, you out your mind.
Okay,
let her flesh out. Let her flesh out.
Go.
I hear you.
What you got?
I hear you.
What you got?
But I will say, I remember growing up, my aunties and stuff used to say, a lady don't show everything. Less is more. But nowadays, it's I can wear what I want to wear because that's not a representation of who I am.
That's not right though.
But the thing
I'm
is,
just
here's
saying,
the problem.
the idea has
the
changed.
Difference is,
it's not good.
Some women
it's not
are
good.
standing very close to the hoes because we influence each other. But I can tell what type of man you are by the type of way you carry yourself. Down to a suit, down to a blue collar uniform, down to you sagging in your fucking jeans. I know what type of man is doing X, Y, and Z. There's a clear distinction in between the way that men carry themselves versus how women are influenced to carry ourselves. See, women are influenced by the aesthetic, and there are not necessarily sexuality, but sexuality is a driving force.
It's
Sexuality becomes a personality. But you see some men who are trying to replicate rappers. They used to be a huge thing back in the early 2000s.
I did it. I dressed like that.
Where trying to replicate rappers. You want to wear the big flashy jewelry. You want to wear the gold chains. You want to wear, the nice shoes and, the Balmains and the Marys. However, you also see men that go, man, fuck that shit. That's lying. I'm put on a suit. You also see men that go, I want some Chelsea boots. Or you see men that go, I ain't really into that. I wear anime. They actually have a different type of persona. Whereas today, being a modest woman is not a commonality unless a woman is associated with her religion.
Here's the difference. And somebody said the women who are professionals are standing way too close to the hoes.
Yeah.
The women who don't typically see that amongst men.
You don't.
No. You don't see
deadbeats.
They be around.
You don't see deadbeats hanging around good men.
You know what? I asked that on the podcast. I was like, have y'all ever saw like a guy that don't do nothing for their kids? And most men be like, I don't even want to hang around nobody like that.
But why don't women think like that?
Here's the difference.
Why don't women think like that?
I got you. Here's the difference though. Because us as men, we tend to ostracise the bad men in our community.
Because
women do not ostracize the bad women.
Men are okay with telling people, I'm making a strong judgment on you. You're a fucking loser. I can't deal with you. Women don't like judging each other. Well, she's a hoe. Tell her she's a hoe. You don't hang around her. Why don't want to hurt her feelings? Women don't speak straightforward like that.
That goes to her point that while us as men can sit here and say till we blue in the face, we don't deal with no hoe. We don't deal with you. Women can't be told shit because as long as women are co-signing it, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do.
But that's also going back to the point that I was trying to make.
They still do it.
The issue is women think that men don't speak up about men who beat women asses and men who are not taking care of their children.
We do.
Give me a point. Give me a minute. The thing is that a lot of times those men are sitting around actual stand-up men camouflaging themselves. And behind closed doors, they're doing this egregious shit. But the thing is, we all know that there's always been a code in the black community. Don't put your hands on a motherfucking woman and don't you touch no kids. However, most times, men ain't sitting around trying to kick it with no motherfucking pedophile. No. Men ain't sitting around trying to kick it with no woman abuser. Men ain't sitting around trying to kick it with no deadbeat dad. But it's happening because those men go into spaces and they keep their mouth closed about their business.
They act different.
Camouflage themselves, and women get to experience them men, but women have this preconceived notion that women think that men are doing it because women are sitting around women who are abusing the fuck out of their kids. Women are sitting around women who are beating their men. Women are sitting around women who are hoeing and not saying nothing. So naturally, we think that y'all are doing it.
Right, because there's a lot of things that y'all don't even know that the people you hang around with doing.
If you know
you
about
don't even know it.
If you know about it either, because the reality is most of us don't get violent. Like men don't get violent with one another. So we're not going to go out our way and be like, man, I'm going to beat your ass if you out there.
Because y'all understand the consequences.
Right. But
you can be hanging with a guy that's beating his wife, you don't even know it.
A man would definitely tell her, hey, bro, I can't chill. Hey,
and you can prove that men don't typically get that violent with each other because homosexual male relationships have the highest success rate.
They love each other.
Yeah, female relationships have the highest success
Correct.
Because we know
it is
how
a
bad
proven
shit
fact.
can get.
That it is a proven fact that homosexual men of whatever race have the highest success rate in marriage. They stay in marriage longer than anybody because there is an undenounced, unprecedented respect for men amongst men. Women, however, we typically are inherently, I ain't gonna say inherently, we typically will get violent and territorial. And that's why 7 out of 10 of all domestic violence relationships are because women perpetuate them first.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we make all of these different things and we try to make it seem like it's a blanketed thing where women think this way or men think this way. And this is where it goes back to what I'm saying.
In general, it is kind of true, though.
But this is where this is why I'm going back. The blanketed statements, the issue with the blanketed statements
Generalizing.
Correct. The issue with them is the fact that in proximity, women typically naturally draw to women to have conversations. Mm-hmm. And men are naturally drawn to men to have conversations. Mm-hmm. And when we're having experiences with each other, we're segregating those relationships. Yep.
Men and women just different. We are fucking different. And that's just what it is.
And here's the thing. This is why I said that The most important thing is that what we truly lost. This is where I say relationships truly fell apart. Because I'm a firm believer that modern relationships technically can work. The reason why modern relationships break down is because we have two groups of people with a set of expectations for the other group.
I was about to say expectations.
While also saying that they do not want those expectations on themselves. You have a bunch of modern women who want men to be traditional while trying to be modern women.
Yep.
Conditional.
It's a bad deal.
Traditionalism.
It's a bad deal.
A bunch of modern men
don't even
who
know
want
what it
women
means.
to
They
be
just be wanting
traditional
stuff.
without being traditional men.
Yep.
Correct.
The reality is
it goes both ways.
90%
Never even
of
saw
us
the
today
shit.
are modern.
Mm-hmm.
We are more in a modern society,
Correct.
with modern circumstances,
Correct.
and modern situations. Like as in, we know that without a shadow of a doubt, man, we need each other to make it from one end of life to the end.
Correct.
Next. Financially, that is a reality.
The basis, because the reality is the minimum wage is still $7.25, and you can't do nothing with that
shit
today. And that's why I said we all adapted to a modernized lifestyle, whether we like it or not. Because even though a man can pay $1,500 in rent, a woman can pay $1,500 in rent too. But if it makes more sense for me to not break your back and give you peace, because the same way black women are saying we want a soft life, I want my man to have a soft life.
I want my
Men
man
don't
to be
get soft
scratching
lives.
the back.
Men don't get soft lives. Men don't get soft lives.
Stop thinking soft like.
This is why
Stop
I tell.
thinking
This is why
like
I tell
that.
Men
men
have
all
to
the
have a
time.
hard life.
This is why I tell men all the time.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have no hard
It's-
life.
it's-
Oh wait, this is
hard
why I
life
tell
for a
men
man.
all the time. You watched your grandfather work. This is
You
the
don't
thing.
have to.
It's gonna be a
Men
hard
have
life for a
watched. The
man.
reason why a lot of men reject the aspect of being a sole provider, like you said, like she said, you got a lot of men that say, I don't want kids or marriage no more.
I seen my
because they
granddaddy
seen their
do
grandfather
it. I
work
seen my
himself
daddy
into
do
an
it.
early grave.
I don't want to do that.
And I tell men all the time, look, you free now. They
Right.
fought for it.
Correct.
They say they want to be what they say they want to go to work. They say they want to do all of this. Free yourself.
Let
now
them
you get,
do that.
Now you get to go golfing like you
And
wanted
that's
to.
why I say,
Now you get to play that video game like
Correct.
you wanted
Right.
to. Now you get to sit there and spend time with your kids and go watch your son play football.
You can do that
when you
now.
used to have to go to work and
Because
not be
you're
able to
not
watch
a team player.
Because now, since women fought for the equality in this world, let them have it.
Let them
but
have
it's
it,
our
man.
job to make sure that we hold
It's
them accountable
structured.
for it.
It's structured.
Exactly.
There's still leadership. There's still provision. And I will say this. When you talk about the things that men have to endure, right? There are certain things that grandpa didn't want to do. Grandpa didn't want to go to the doctor, not only because he didn't trust them because of what they was doing, but because he didn't have time. He knew he had a family to provide for. However, today,
he couldn't leave work to do it.
I want my man to feel like, you know what, it's okay to take off. I already took care of the bills. My wife good. My kids good. She done made sure my kids good. I can go take off. Ain't nobody at the house. I know she not gonna come bother me, and I'm straight. Like, I can get a peace of mind. I feel like we spend so much time trying to cater to the needs of women. We don't really get to talk about relaxing the burden on men. Why should you have to work all your damn life to provide for everybody too? This is why I will go 50-50, because I want him to be able to say when it's time to take a vacation, he really can relax. He can take his mind off of whatever the fuck happening at work and at family. I'm going to be able to tell people, don't call my husband bothering him.
Right. That's me, baby.
Don't call this damn house.
Even when he get off work, I really like, it's a quiet moment where when he get off work, he don't work. Make sure the kid's good. It's like stuff that I'm used to. Most men feel like it's not natural for a lot of women. And that's why I say you don't look at women in the same light. Because you got some women that will work and still cook. Like, all that stuff is like natural.
And that's why I say
is fucking natural.
I reject all of that, because I seen my daddy be just as much involved.
My daddy wash dishes.
Clothes.
My daddy
did all of that. He cooked. My mother cooked when she got ready. My daddy was very hands-on.
When I say that's why I say most time when I be on like talking to these men and some of them from the East Coast, I can just tell that they ain't never did that shit. My daddy washed clothes. My daddy washed dishes. My daddy did this shit.
He was
up every Saturday cutting grass.
I bullshit you not. The nigga sucked that washing clothes.
To cut grass.
Thank you.
Hey, look, bro, that motherfucker sucked that washing clothes. Everybody couldn't stand when but he washed them.
But that's why I said when men make these arguments, I'm like, what is you talking about? Like how I was raised We all did everything. On Saturday, you
everybody
gonna
was-
deep clean that house on Saturday.
Everybody wasn't raised
Let
like
me be
you.
honest with you, right?
It's
I
340 million
understand,
Americans.
and this is where I can never
Everybody
say.
wasn't raised like you. Neither.
Let me
340
be
million
honest.
Americans.
Hold on, let me be honest, right? I understand what you're saying. I know I'm an anomaly. You don't have to keep reminding me.
But you keep giving out your anomaly examples of your life.
Give me a second. This is what I'm gonna say because I feel like a lot of times we have these conversations, people think that we're having them to change your mind. I can't change your mind, and I can't change your experiences, but I can share with you. And what I am saying is that I can never really relate to what walk you have in your everyday.
No, I'm listening to you
I
talk.
can never
You can't.
do that.
Yeah, you couldn't.
And you can never relate to the walk that I have.
You're a woman, yeah, of course.
But I can support you on your endeavor.
Amen.
I'm gonna tell you this though. The reality is, and I did a show on this. I looked at the numbers.
We ain't gotta always attack each other.
The numbers say otherwise, bro. The numbers say
we're married at the same highest percentage.
When you talk about relationships between men and women, and I'm just talking about men and women across the board. I ain't even talking about black men and black women.
Every
we
demographic.
know without a shadow of a doubt that black men give their women way more leeway
than other men.
We're way than other men. But if we talk about men in general, when you talk about the breakdown of the household, men share the responsibilities in the household just as much as women.
Correct.
What we get wrong is that people tend to count what they do and discount what the other person is doing. When you talk about if you break it down, the reason why a lot of the times men aren't as involved in the household is not because he chooses not to be, it's because versus her 8 to 10 hour shift, he's working 12 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's working 12 to 16 hours, you ain't got no choice but to be at home and work with the kids. So what you hear a lot of women go out there and say, I work too, but I still got to take care of the kid. I still gotta cook for them. I still got to do. Well, you have no choice to because
you're the first parent.
home. But you know what's tripped out though? Every woman that I've ever heard complain about the fact that they're stay-at-home moms or that they feel like I said switch roles.
Right. And if
give him your job and you take his job.
If we're being even more honest, Sweeney, being a stay-at-home mom today in this economy is a privilege.
Surely.
It's an anomaly.
You do not.
I was a teacher. I was a special education teacher for 5 years.
And while we throwing out numbers,
baby,
the average black woman makes anywhere from 28,000
to 37.
No, it's not 37.
Is it 35?
It's 38,000. However, on the
higher
shit,
come on, now give it take 1,000.
I thought it was 30.
But
come on, really?
I remember it was 35.
But it's a small skew difference because on the higher end, black men are making on average from 31,000 up until 45,000. However, y'all are still the least employed. You still make more money than us, but you're still the least employed. You still have the least resources. So when we're talking about what women will or won't tolerate, I always challenge them to say that's a motherfucking lie. We doing it every single day because the same way you will hear a woman say, "My standards are I need a 6-figure nigga."
They ain't gonna get it.
No, it's not.
No, I agree with you. Most of them ain't gonna get it.
That's true. The fact that they won't get it, and I'm not gonna discount that. The reality is that same woman is gonna tell you the reason why that's her standard because she done dealt with a man who ain't got nothing.
They've dealt with him before, and they're
gonna do it again.
They get imprinted.
So women are lying to you. Why are you believing it? Right?
Hold on.
I'll say this.
No, hold on. Stop. What? Hold on. What do you mean they're lying to me?
They lying to your motherfucking ass.
Listen.
Lying about what?
I'm gonna tell you this. Most of the women are full of shit.
Look at it. You sitting here telling me majority of women are dealing with the same men. Yeah. Majority of women are having sex with the same men. Those men you consider simps. So if you
I didn't say they were simps.
Wait.
I never said those were simps.
You did though. You said they
no,
pookies.
I didn't.
You said they.
That's Pookie Ray Ray is not a simp.
Oh, okay. What is a Pookie and a Ray Ray? Why is it
like
not
a
simp?
hood nigga throwing dick, but that's not a simp.
Well, I would say this because a simp is the person
they're just throwing money.
Yeah, that's like a
simp
trick.
is a person that does whatever he can to get the attention of a woman without actually getting the woman.
Fair.
Whereas a Pookie Ray, he's getting the woman.
Yeah, I remember the hood.
He's getting what he want out the woman, but he don't have to give anything for it.
But this is why I'm saying saying women are lying because the same way you mentioned that you have an uncle who is a doctor and he has no kids. You also mentioned that you know men who are around you that you don't necessarily deal with, but they got kids and they don't deal with them. But women are still dealing with the same kids. And this is why I'm saying women are liars because all she needs to do is find the man that's going to give her the right feeling. She's going to conform to his leadership.
Yeah. Cause we
if
are emotions.
If that was the case, they would be doing.
We are emotional creatures.
We just don't talk about it.
What is the marriage? What is the marriage rate in America?
To his credit,
the marriage rate is down.
The problem with our women,
y'all make us married.
To his credit, the problem with our women is that when they do it, they don't do it with one man. Stay with them and keep it moving.
They keep leaving.
They keep leaving. They bounce from man to man based off how they feeling. So they leave him. So they ain't deal with a Pookie on this. They deal with that Pookie. They go deal with that Pookie. Then go deal with that Pookie. Then go deal with that guy who got some money. Then go live with that guy who's average. Then go deal with that guy who's also another Pookie. So they keep bouncing out of relationships rather than sticking shit through. So to his credit, while you got to understand it through the lens of a man. Right. So when we sit there, when he's saying, "Damn, y'all not dealing with us," what he's saying is that, yeah, I see that y'all made the numbers say this. But the reality is, if you're doing it with 9 different men, because you keep leaving your relationships, then what does that do for me as the man that I'm supposed? You telling me I'm supposed to be this man, but I have to deal with women that want to bounce from relationship to relationship to relationship based on the fleeting thing like happiness.
But that's why I also say, like, to his point, this is another reason why he's right, and this is why I say women are lying to you. The very first question that was asked in this conversation, you was the first person to say, women don't have to play with you and ask you for money. So you not doing it either. You ain't dropping nothing but dick and opportunity.
And they still doing
it. So you can't disagree and say women wouldn't go 50-50 because women ain't going shit with you.
I don't want them to.
That's cool that you don't want them to.
Check my
phone. But what I'm saying is, even if you proposition them to, they're already accepting nothing from you but dick. Why would they not accept 50-50?
There's probably a lot of women that would go 50-50 with me, but I would never do it. I truly feel
that's not the point. I know what you're saying, what your standards are. I understand what you're saying. You are going to cover all things financially. What I'm saying to you is now you've made it very clear. You're only giving women nothing but dick. And women know not to challenge you but for money. They know not to do that because you're not the type of guy. You're not just finna let a woman run through your wallets. So I'm saying to you, if only thing you doing is proposition and dick and she respecting your pimping, she respecting how you coming, what makes you think if you gave her the option of 50-50, she wouldn't conform? She gonna do it. Because she already respecting you at the basis of
you ain't giving her shit. She gonna give. She exactly. Gonna say, if you go in and say, "Bitch, I ain't giving your ass shit."
I'm not.
If you came in and say, "Bitch, I'll give you 50-50," she gonna take that shit.
Oh yeah, I take that.
But I'm not every dude though. I'm not gonna brag. I'm not every dude though.
No, she gonna take. Listen, I'm gonna tell you why I respect what you said.
Yeah, I'm not every guy.
Because I grew up with a provider, and I grew up with a provider showing other men what it looked like to actually have the withstand and the character of a man. So I saw my daddy be very impressionable around other men. If it took him to give his last, and it took him to be damn near health decline to make sure his family was comfortable, he was gonna do that. So when you're talking about a provider, if a man tell me this my house, you don't worry about that. Guess what we doing? We doing it. But if a man tell me, you know what? I don't really want to do this, but you my woman. Do you mind? And I'm going to say, baby, that's what you want to do? That's what we doing. And it ain't going to be no question about it.
But do you agree if there are younger girls out there, when they hear that, they're going to be like, they mind already thinking on to the next?
Younger women are actually more gullible. I would say it's the women who are my peers that are harder to deal with.
Oh yeah, women in your age group, they only want one type of dude. They all chasing the same archetype.
And that's the thing that while younger women they're far more. It's a high risk. It's a high risk, high reward.
Them young girls are finesse.
You can deal with younger women.
Motive.
When younger women, it's high risk, high reward. So
when you get the women my age, we also, and this is what I don't think men consider a little bit. No, not compromise. We also have shit to lose, like you. And I don't think men take into a lot of credence to that because women are sitting around going, I got my degree, and he like, all right, good for you. But it's like, I didn't just get my degree. I also have established inherited properties. I've also established inheriting my own shit. I've established creating my own debt and my own wealth. I've established things for myself, my brand. You know, those things matter to me. They are important to me. So I don't never, me personally, I don't never want to walk into a relationship with a man feeling like he's the only person losing something. I own shit too. You're not the only person who got shit to lose.
Here's the conundrum of what you're saying. For those type of women, here's where equality starts to break down. For men, it don't matter. If we got
I was just thinking when she said that, I was thinking
if we got a good paying job, our family has a good paying job. If I got my degree, my family has my degree. The problem with a lot of women today is that they get it's all theirs and they use it as a barometer for what they expect from the other person. See, me, if I go out and get those things, you don't have to have those things because I already got it.
You know what? And I have to respect that and I have to honor that because that's what Monique talked about when she talked about her husband. She don't never mention any of her successes without mentioning Sydney. But anytime we see Serena Williams making headlines, you will never see nobody talk about her husband.
No.
Anytime
I don't even know his name.
Anytime we see Issa Rae making headlines, you will never hear nobody talk about her husband. But I can say one person.
Celebrities.
That's true, but it's still a matter of their reputation.
Respect, yes.
Right? Like, you hear Jada Pinkett Smith and you can hear her sometimes separated from Will. You don't never hear Will separated from Jada. You always hear them conjoined together. But I can say that the one person I don't hear necessarily like that, and this is because she intentionally keeps herself out of the spotlight. I love her so much. And that's Savannah James. You hear LeBron name all day long and you'll hear his wife. However, you can know that there's an unprecedented level of respect. And I think he's talking about just simply a man's reputation. I create this name for myself and you inherit that. Because Larsa Pippen, it's many years she ain't been with Scotty. She's still walking around attached to fucking Scotty.
Because that speech that Savannah made, baby, she let you know who her husband was, and I respect her for that.
But she don't overcompensate his spotlight. She knows
speech
who
was
she
everything,
is, and she don't take away from her husband.
But what I was alluding to is that we live in a time where, and I say this all the time, our women is as equal to the very thing that white women fought for. The very thing that they've been begging for from their men. We want an equal thing. We want an equal thing at the table. We want all of this. Our women have it.
Literally.
We
had it before they had
equal
it.
To their men. Even when you talk about education, you know what they use education to say black women are the most educated, right? That is not true.
No, we're the most degreed. The most enrolled.
No, it's not even that. Black women, when they use that statistic, a lot of people quote it wrong because they say the most enrolled. It's not about that. Black women are the most educated in comparison
to black men.
And even then, it's 50-50. Other groups, it becomes
well, the men are more educated than other groups.
Our women are more equal to their men than any other group on the planet.
It's only literally a 3% margin of pay between us.
Right. Yes.
It's only not a 3%, a 3 cent. So technically, if we're making the same salary, let's just say me and you both make $40,000. You're $40,000 3 cents. That's it. So in comparison to. But also, to give credence to what you're saying, black men by numbers are the most accepting demographic of men. You're the most welcoming of sexuality. You're the most welcoming of individuality. You are the most welcoming of all that. So that's why I don't ever discredit when black men say our women have too much freedom or our women can do what they want to do, because you're not lying. You give the most acceptance to it. And sometimes it's not in your best benefit, because sometimes I can see how you guys have rewarded bad behavior.
Yeah. Ooh, don't they reward that shit?
It's a trip because it's like, our women are more equal to us than anything, but yet we're the most apart.
Yeah.
And it don't make sense. It's like you got exactly what every other woman on the planet want what you have.
Literally.
Everybody.
In respect to their men, every woman on the planet wants what our women have.
I gotta find that video. It's so many white women say that they are jealous of black women. They jealous of how we are,
and that's the reason why I say you would never see the laws change until white women start divorcing their men en masse the way our women do us. because that's when you will see laws change.
Because white women hold the most political power. Everything that black women have inherited that could be a privilege, and this is why I say we don't really know our power. You make a lot of babies, but you're not getting no spousal support or no alimony. And that's what white women are getting. They knew how to in-depth those laws. We talk about side bitch this, side bitch that. But it's 13 states that is upholding. You sleep with my husband, bitch, I'm suing.
You gotta pay.
And it's like, we don't... And I'm not saying this as a way of manipulating men or weaponizing divorce, but I am saying a lot of the mentality that black women have, like I said, we got that shit from our grandmamas and our mamas and our aunties. A lot of men don't want to admit it because y'all hold those women in high regards, but we know those women on an intimate level because we women. They talk to us. They ain't talking to you like that. You know she around there fucking. You know she around there conning me. You know she around there doing X, Y, and Z, but she telling me and I'm a reflection of her.
And I was going to say, because that is facts.
Cancel them hoes.
But I will say this, though.
Same way me have barbershop talk.
The reason why I said that you will never see the laws change until white women start, because the reality is white women still are married to their men.
Absolutely.
At a 50+% clips.
Correct.
But what you're starting to see now is you start to see all these stay-at-home moms on TikTok.
You are.
Talking about divorcing their husbands.
Yes, indeed.
And what you're going to see, because the reality is white men are still the government.
Yep.
White men are still the doctors. Yep. White men are still the lawyers. Yep. White men are still the judges.
Yep.
And once those men start seeing their women leave their husbands the way black women have been
the
leaving
laws
their
will
husbands,
begin to
you
change.
will see the laws change.
Yeah.
You're starting to see it right now. In Florida, right now, they just got rid of permanent alimony.
Yep,
because they started recognizing white women they're not going to let white women get away with that shit. And what the difference is that black men don't have the power
when it came
to
the
control
abortion
black
rate.
women's
But
scenario.
that's the only way y'all get y'all power.
The reason why Roe versus Wade changed had nothing to do with black women at all. It had everything to do with the decline in population and the white populace. Yes, black women lost 1% of their entire populations due to abortions. The other percent was because we not fucking all these pookies and rays like y'all think we are. We done stopped having kids. I'm one of them.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, stuff. They definitely.
We're not having kids anymore.
Almost all my friends, they were like, I ain't having no babies.
It's been crazy out there, man.
Black women
they ain't having no kids.
In the next 5 years, you're going to see a rapid decline.
I just saw
younger children walking around.
It's a whole group on TikTok of women getting their tools tied. They ain't even had kids yet. And getting their tools tied.
Why do you think they're doing that?
Because
look at what's up.
Well, we learned.
I asked you a question.
It's a poison pill. Basically,
we're learning from the ramifications of what happened.
That, but also it's an ideology that
children are punishment.
Children are, and that's
who taught that.
No,
that's what you see. That's not a black people.
That's not the black. You know what I mean? We ain't the problem for that. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, that's not a black people thing. That's society. Children hold you back.
What you see around.
What
a lot of times people think like that.
But somebody has to be teaching that for a young girl to think that.
Well, it's not a young girl thing. That's society. Like even men think. Well,
I don't think men are running around telling women that babies hold you back.
Wait a minute.
Women see it and they think, man, babies hold me back. I don't want to have no kids.
Women, we just worded different, right? Men say, I made a family, now my responsibility increased. I can't do all that cool shit I was doing no more. Women go, well, whatever I was finna do, I can't do that no more. Life on hold.
Because you guys are selfish. That's selfish.
But that's the same thing.
No, when men have kids, we're not selfish. We go harder. When you have kids, he's holding me back.
But just like Paris said.
So now the young girls don't want to have them because they're selfish.
About what Paris said when she said.
Did you see what I just said?
I heard.
Do you agree with that?
The only thing
do you agree with that?
I don't, because the only reason
why
I don't.
So women are selfish, but they're not having kids?
No, but listen.
And they're having the two types.
But you gotta listen to what.
No, I'm not gonna keep talking over you until you give me an answer. You understand that?
The reason
that's
why
selfish as hell.
The reason why I understand what she's saying, because I am in a position where I won't want her to be in.
You would never want her to have children?
Listen to me.
And answer the question with yes or no.
Listen to me.
You would never want her to have children?
Hold on, listen to me. What she said.
A woman's duty on this earth.
She said she have a choice. If she was to have kids, it would be a choice that she thought out thoroughly. Meaning that what she established, she said, I done established these things. I done got myself to a place where I'm at peace. with me.
Women don't have forever to make that decision.
But when somebody is at peace and they love themselves, you just can't come in and say
Mommy
what
3,
you want.
Can I ask you a question, woman to woman? What is it that makes you say I wouldn't want her to be in the position that I'm in?
It's not having kids your holy
I know.
grail.
I want to hear what she has to say about this, because to me, and I just want to say I do value your opinion.
Because I hang around a lot of women who choose to not have kids.
Okay.
And they look at my situation where they feel like, you know what, I want to think this out thoroughly.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I vet the right man. I want to make sure that so they have the time. Me, I did this in college.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't give myself grace. I didn't give myself time to vet men and to understand.
It's like a double-edged
sword. When you get there, I got something I really want to say.
So you got a lot of women who rather, you know what, I don't give a damn if I have a child at 40. I know that I made this decision thoroughly, not on what I feel in my heart.
I understand what you're saying, because earlier you mentioned, and I'm sorry if you felt offended, but earlier you mentioned how it was better for you and your child's father to separate, right? And I think what we're saying here is that now, when we used to have the ideology that the baby was going to keep the man and guilt trip him into staying, we learned that what we did was created a surplus of deadbeat men. And now women have said over 20 years, okay, well, that obviously don't fucking work. Right. Let's try something different. So now black women have not had children at all, even down to the teens.
I'm holding my thought.
They got the option now.
I'm holding my thought.
They have the option to not fuck with y'all.
Go ahead,
They have the option now.
Go ahead,
and a lot of men are.
I'm gonna let you
hear what he got to say. Go ahead.
Because I listened to everything you said. You said that you talked to a lot of women who don't have kids and they see you and they got to think this thoroughly through. No offense to you, but I know a lot of women like you. If the example they're looking at is a woman who's unmarried, not happy, doesn't have a strong masculine husband in the house, and she's doing all this shit by herself. If I was a young girl and I seen that example, it would make me scratch my head. Like, you know what? I don't want to be like this person. I tell people all the time, if I wouldn't walk in your shoes, I can't take your advice. I can't take your advice if I wouldn't walk in your shoes. I tell people that, they get mad at me. So when you say that, if young girls were seeing lots of strong together families, the concept of them having kids wouldn't bother them. But the fact that we live in a dysfunctional America, there's a bunch of single mothers running around, a bunch of fucked up situations. Yes, young girls see that. Young girls like, you know what? Having kids don't look like everything is cracked up to be.
But what about my situation?
I think the influences is just bad.
But what about my situation where
I didn't listen to my dad? I'm just being honest.
Not even that. Like,
now I'm just saying, I done spoke about this a lot on the Lapeef show, where I grew up in that dynamic. I grew up in the 2-parent.
You didn't follow the lead.
And you had to buy your
legacy. Yeah, you did your own thing.
My daddy that's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of, I see a lot of men talk about women, this and that, but they have daughters. What makes you think your daughter gonna be so important when I was that daughter? I was that daughter when I was in college.
You chose them.
Hold on, y'all.
I grew up in a strict parent household, church family. My family have
and you
so many parent homes. I grew up in a big
and that's my inherent fear. My inherent fear is that we talk all these numbers in mass.
If you get with the right man, I think you won't have any fear about having children.
That's not the issue. I'm gonna tell you.
That's one of the biggest factors.
Wait a minute. That's not my issue.
That's one of the biggest factors. The man you choose to have kids with is one of the biggest factors.
I hear you.
If you had LeBron James, you would not be tripping up having kids.
Hold on, wait a minute.
You get what I'm saying, though?
I understand what you're saying. You're not wrong. That's not my point. My point is
I'm right. Thank you.
That's one of my biggest fears, because we can't obsolete the numbers. So the same way the women in our community have this idea that I can go co-parent, that's
a horrible idea.
I understand. That same ideology has been manifested and embedded into a lot of men. And a lot of people
don't want to co-parent.
Wait a minute. I didn't say what men want to do. The idea is that the ideology has become such a reality to the point where the numbers are showing something different. Even though 50% of black men have kids and 50% don't. The idea is that even getting with a man, one of those 50 who don't have a child, if I have a child with him and I'm the child's first mom, et cetera, even before wedlock, because we know premarital sex is a thing, he is still just as conditioned as I am to learn to co-parent before we learn to get married.
And that's also, exactly what I'm going through.
And also, I will say this. We learned the wrong lessons from the people before us. For instance, all your friends that watched you, they didn't learn the lesson of, the lesson that they learned was, oh, she a mama with 3 kids. She a mama with 3 kids, and I don't want that shit. The lesson that they didn't learn from you was, and which this is why I wish you would stop them and say, hey, look, don't look at my situation. Here's the lesson that I want to teach you.
Correct.
Listen to your dad.
Yes,
my daddy
please.
told me.
That's the foundation. That's the foundation.
From the beginning, before I
don't
had
mess
kids,
with this guy.
My daddy said, I raised you. That man would not be able to take care of you. I raised you. I know.
That's the thing.
So it's not looking at her then. It's actually a deeper under the surface.
Right. And that's the problem, that we're not learning from our parents' situations.
Listen.
We're not learning what not to do and what to do. We're learning, I see what it looked like. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
And that's the failure that we have in our community, is that a lot of people look and they see something, they're like, well, I don't want it, but you're not learning the lesson. The lesson is, listen to your father, because the problem is that there's nothing wrong. I tell people all the time, the best thing you can do is, especially if you're college educated, the best thing you can do is, Kevin Sayer spoke to this, find your man in college. Why?
Yes, young,
because outside of that,
young.
the likelihood of you finding a man of the equal caliber or within the same socioeconomic class as you is slim to none.
But you know what? Coming from where I come from and seeing how my mom was such a dutiful wife to her family, I would have to say that my mindset is 1 in a million. And I always tell women, I don't think about relationships how you think about them. And that's why I don't try to push how I feel of you men onto you, even though I may share my ideas, because I know that I'm an anomaly. I'm one of the most broadest anomalies in the Black community, because everything that you could ever think about, I was exposed to it.
I will say this real quick, sidebar. You been with your man for 3 years?
Yeah.
Man, when y'all gonna tie the goddamn knot? What are y'all playing?
That ain't up to her.
Listen, not only is it not up to me, I think people have to stop pressurizing that, especially now, because I done went through a grieving situation and he has too. He lost his mom before I even lost my dad. And when you dealing with mental health, things we don't prioritize, right? And then also we have to think about intentionality. I always say, and he always say, this was a beautiful mistake. It happened on accident.
You said that wasn't even a goal of yours to get married, though?
No, I never said that.
Do you want to?
Absolutely.
Oh, so you want to get married, but you don't want to have kids?
No, I never said that either.
She didn't say that.
No, she didn't.
I thought you said you didn't want to have kids.
She said she want to take her time. She wants to be able to.
I said I'm one of the women that's a part of Black women declining in having children because I don't have. Yeah, you kept saying that.
That's why I thought you said you didn't want them.
No, I never said I don't want children. I do think today, right?
So do you or don't you?
I do want to have kids.
Okay.
I think today, what men are not hearing, right? You guys, and don't get me wrong, the statistics are not wrong. But when y'all start throwing over these statistics, right, it's because the mass of women do have children. And so women
like... It's a woman's duty.
I ain't say that was not true. I understand.
It is true.
I ain't say that it wasn't. I understand that what a woman's duty is and how her body works. Mm-hmm. I'm all for it.
You're a woman, you know.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, when you're talking about the Black community, the last thing that I want to do is contribute to the problem. One, because 100%. I have a higher regard of a respect for my father. Even though he's deceased, it's still embedded in me. I don't want to deal with a man that I have to question if my daddy would have ever respected him. But I'm old enough to understand that now. If I was 21, you wouldn't be able to get that conversation out of me because my mentality would have been, I'm young, I can do what I want to do, I pay my own bills.
Now that I'm that mentality?
21, now that I'm
you had that mentality back then?
Absolutely.
At 21, that's all. No, change.
But this is
I hate that mentality. I hear people grind it.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. And I enjoy having a conversation with you. I just don't think that everything has to be a battle, right? So when I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you to disagree with you. I'm talking to you to share perspectives. And so what I'm telling to you is, now that I am older, now that I'm closer to 30, and I watched all of my friends become mothers.
How old is your guy?
He's 34. He's 35 in September. Okay. And so now that
would your daddy ever approved of him?
Yeah.
Okay, where's he? Okay.
So now that I'm older and I have watched my cousin be in a house with 3 kids by one man, and she did that by herself. And I've watched all of my other cousins struggle to maintain a copacetic relationship and co-parent. And I watched my best friends have children.
You watch people struggle.
Give me a second. I've watched these things. And when y'all talk about the mind of a Black woman, this is the mind of one that don't have those damn kids that you keep trying to weaponize and hold over women's head. So when I'm saying, hey, I want to take my time, I want to be able to vet properly, I want to be able to do this right, all I'm saying is I want you to give me a little bit more grace when you hear what I say when I will work with a man. I want you to give me a little bit more grace and have a little bit more faith when you are saying things like, this is what I require of a woman. Because I want them to listen to you, because I already told you I done broke those generational curses. My auntie was having kids at 12. So I'd have seen it all.
Try 10.
I would say
them women were having kids at 10 back in the day. Yeah. Them women were having kids at 10 back in the day. Y'all want to talk about modern women.